But then you put the ugly Cleveland Browns color and helmet on it.
It's not
Really,
great.
really horrible.
I just don't understand. I don't know how much those cars cost. I've never looked into it, but I'm assuming they're not cheap. And I don't think that that's a good looking car at all. So I don't know why people would pay for it in general. I've yet to see one on the road.
There's one on 280. I pass it all the time now.
Really?
Yeah. I saw the first one. The first one I saw was at TPC Sawgrass, actually. And they were leaving the parking lot at the end of the day. And it was like a group of maybe 17-year-olds driving it.
Oh, really?
Yes, maybe.
Can't hide money.
No.
What is it, $150,000 for?
You get about $120 for a used one.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I mean, if we lived on Mars, that's the way I think our car would look.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks like what are those called? Like a
rover?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a rover. Yeah, I don't like it at all.
So horrible.
Finally, I love to pose these kind of questions and put you in these awkward situations. So you're at a baseball game, let's say a Texas Rangers baseball game, and you're a big Rangers fan. For you, it's a Braves game, whatever. You catch a foul ball. Do you keep it?
If I catch it out of the air?
Yeah.
What are you setting this up for? What's the next sentence?
Do you keep the foul ball?
Yeah. And that's just like a little kid next to me or something.
Okay, well, you keep it, but what if there are kids around you who are also trying to catch it? Do you give it to the kid?
How do you pick which one you give it to?
Yeah. I mean, it depends.
Well, watch the video. The little kid wants the ball. He's upset. So the dad gives the little kid $100 to walk up and offer the guy the $100.
So he's using his kid as a ploy.
Yep. Everybody's watching. So the guy gives the kid the $100 back and the baseball and says, "Kid, I don't want the $100." Then everybody claps and gives him high fives. But I mean, you got to give the ball up at that point, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And you can't take the
You
100.
can't take the 100.
Yeah.
No.
What if you've gone to a Braves game your whole life, and you finally catch a foul ball, and it's from your favorite player? You got to give it to the kid.
It up.
I just don't really know which don't scream at me for this, but I just don't really know what are you going to do with it besides it's going to get dusty on a shelf in your room, unless that's just something that you are dying to have as a foul ball from a baseball game, which I think you're different because you're very passionate about it. I guess it's just because I'm not.
But that makes sense. You could do that for multiple sports.
Right. But like that kid, it'll make their day or
like a
week
hockey
or month
puck.
or year or whatever, A
Patrick
kid will
says
love
you
that.
never give up a home run ball.
No, I agree with that. If you catch if a home run and you got it, you take it. Or if it's like Shohei Ohtani's first home run ball, you take it.
You made money off that.
Yeah, then you put it on
Did y'all
eBay.
hear what happened though with that lady? She caught it. It was the beginning of the season. And they cornered her, the Dodgers organization, and offered her 2 signed bats. And chat, you guys can hone in on this because I'm sure I'm missing something. But 2 signed bats, like a signed jersey for that thing. I would take that and run out of the stadium
Can
immediately.
they take it away? I mean, what were they trying to do with it?
Well, they want it for their archives.
Collection?
Yeah.
I'll probably give it back to Otani.
Yeah.
Does he want it? Does he care?
He
His first home
apparently-
run, probably.
He had money on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean,
His friend had money on it.
If you get your first major league hit,
Yeah.
and it doesn't go into the stands, they usually roll the ball to the dugout and they put it.
Yeah,
You
or
catch
pitchers.
your first touchdown in the NFL.
Yeah.
They keep the ball usually.
What happened with that recently? Wasn't there oh my gosh, what was it? I'm not going to do a good job of describing the story because I don't even remember what the story was, but I think that happened and a player ran away with the ball.
Oh yeah, it was.
I just
basketball.
yeah.
It
I
was
just faintly
somebody's
remember.
It was a basketball game, right? It was in Brooklyn, or was it in?
I thought it was football though.
I can't remember.
It was baseball, I think. And it was some kid's first hit or maybe his first strikeout or something, and when they threw it into the crowd.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'll try and find it.
Find it. I think there's multiple stories.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
It seems like it happened in basketball season, and a team ran to the locker room with it.
Oh gosh.
Was it? I don't know. All of these stories
yeah.
sound like they're right.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think it wasn't UConn, but for some reason, I'm thinking it was UConn and Dan Hurley. I just have him on my mind. Probably in about an hour and a half, we'll know if Hurley is staying with UConn or going to the Lakers. The Lakers, the betting favorite right now to get him. NBA, it was an NBA game, Cody. I think it was too. I can't remember what happened.
We'll check it.
Seemed like it involved the Celtics somehow. I don't know. That's the show today. We're back with you at 9 a.m. Central again tomorrow. Don't forget the podcast. Don't forget the Meltdown at 2 a.m. Central Live. 2 p.m. live today. And at 1 o'clock, a new Pennant Grace. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show on a Tuesday. Just us girls here again all day today. Jim Dunaway, Emily Grace McWhorter, Taylor Korn, everybody behind the glass, including my man Rockstar in a hat today. Rare hat Rockstar Day.
That's was it today? Tuesday.
Tuesday's Hat Day, Tuesday. Mm-hmm. All hats on the back row, too. Forrester and Lunsford back there. Tyler even has a hat on. I think I saw Tyler with a hat on. Speaking of hats, nextround.store. I got reprimanded official letter in my official file after work yesterday from Reed, who said you forgot to mention the sale going on in the store. Father's Day is this weekend. We have a big Father's Day sale. Little T will explain a little bit more, but it's a BOGO where it's, see if I get this right, buy one, get one half off.
No exclusions.
No exclusions. Hit it up for me. Tell me more about it.
So you buy one item and there's no...
You just said it all, Jim.
There's no code needed. So it will automatically be applied at checkout. You don't have to type in any BOGO 50, Father's Day, anything like that. But get your dad something nice. And we also, if you're watching, the shirt on the top right, I believe that is mint colored. That and the light blue, they're what kind of material would y'all describe that?
Dry fit almost.
You wear them poolside, beachside.
Yeah,
they do
shirt.
have some sunscreen protective.
Yeah, it's an
RV
SPF.
Yes.
A lot of people wear them doing yard work, but I was actually wearing one yesterday. We have light blue and that mint green that just restocked. So those are great shirts. I love those.
Yeah, nextround.store. Check that out. BOGO 50 is what we're going to call it. BOGO 50. And
BOGO
Ross says,
50.
What is this, Publix?
I love Publix,
Yeah,
guys.
why not? Why not? Goose says, I have Rockstar's hat. It's one of my favorite. I got two of those. One I wear in golf to sweat in, and the other one I wear around the house where I don't sweat at all.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to get to. We've had a couple weird things happen to the show over the last 24 hours. Let's just start there. Caitlin Clark is so popular right now that I ended up doing a TikTok for Taylor on Saturday. Well, Maggie comes home yesterday and the kids are all gone. One's in Europe. The other one's got a boyfriend. So we were out at the pool. Then we came in. We're gonna had a couple cocktails at the pool. We're gonna grab a little late afternoon, 4:45, lay around, nap on the couch. I wake up about 5:50 to my phone buzzing. I'm getting like 8, 9 texts from people. I didn't know anybody watched the freaking nightly news anymore. NBC Nightly News yesterday, Caitlin Clark's story. Who pops up? They took that from our TikTok.
You're a TikTok phenomenon.
You are.
What?
Jimmy International.
Yeah, in the story, she calls me a Caitlin Clark fan.
Oh. Would
I
you
feel like
consider
you
yourself?
are.
She was like, Caitlin Clark fans are upset. I'm not really upset. I was just having an opinion.
That's the media for you, right?
Yeah, that's the media for you right now. But we had the logo behind me in my sports room. I got that little logo pop up, and then they gave us the courtesy in the upper right hand corner.
If not, they would have been receiving a message from me last night.
Yeah. So thank you to NBC Nightly News. That's a big moment there. So I changed my Twitter handle. On Twitter. There you go.
Do you consider yourself an influencer now?
NBC Nightly News contributor is what I call. Yeah, contributor is what I call myself now.
Influencers next level.
That's how you're going to introduce yourself. Jim Dunaway, NBC Nightly News contributor.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for all the texts. The people who I think Chris sent a screenshot on our social media feed, and Steve down at the Floribama sent me. Hey, play the video again. This is what Steve noticed. If you can give me the video. I don't know if you can tell on the shot, but when I pop up on NBC Nightly News, what t-shirt am I wearing? Floribama t-shirt. He said next time he's in a meeting and they get on him about the number of free T-shirts he gives away, he's going to bring up that one and said, "Look at the advertising we get on national news last night."
Yeah, you're doing them a big favor.
Yeah. So Caitlin Clark though could end up still being on the Olympic team. After I was on Nightly News, I was reading more about this. Apparently, she could still make the team because she is one of the top alternates. And at her position, Chelsea Gray hasn't played this year yet. She had a major foot injury in the WNBA finals last year. And if she can't go, insiders believe Caitlin Clark will be added to the team.
Wow.
And she can thank you for that.
Big fan.
So this is interesting. Does this mean that this will squash the argument of minutes since she's an argument or an alternate?
I think, the concern was that if you're a big Caitlin Clark fan, you're going to be upset if she only plays mop-up duty.
Right.
I think just her being on the team will satisfy the fans at this point because it seems like all hope was lost yesterday.
Yeah.
And now here it is. Clay Travis with us later. He has thoughts on Caitlin Clark. We're looking forward to Chris Youngblood, who's on the show with us coming up at 9:25. Big basketball guy at Alabama. I didn't know, we're new to being a basketball state. I didn't know they practice so much in the summertime.
I was not expecting to see footage. Or I remember seeing kind of highlight videos, that type of thing, just very short clips. But I feel like we've been seeing more extended, at least from Alabama. I feel like
pictures.
Auburn's been kind of the same. I mean, some pictures, but more just little highlight clips turned into reels and stuff like that. But I don't remember who posted it. But I saw a relatively lengthy video from one of their practices last week.
Yeah. If you follow the show, I have a bracket punishment coming up the week after July 4th before we go to SEC Media Days. And when I see the video from Auburn practicing and Alabama practicing, my big takeaway is
the goals are down.
The goals are up or down. They're out to where I can, if I am able to sneak in, I can hit a bucket in there because there was actually basketball goals.
So are you changing your route to hit Alabama and Auburn? Is this your reveal of the route?
I don't know. I don't know if Alabama and Auburn will be part of my route yet or not.
I think that they 100% should be.
I think so too.
Because do you not agree that those are the staffs
that
would get a kick out of it?
Okay.
If you were to walk in on a potential practice or something like that, So
you think if I walked in and Bruce and Steven are working out the team, that they're going to be like, hey, let's hold on a second. Jim, throw up a three real quick. See if we can get it over Janai.
I don't think that it would go over well, but at least they wouldn't be like, who's this man that is breaking and entering?
Imagine you doing that to Georgia State.
That's the NBC guy.
Yeah, that's the NBC Nightly News contributor.
Saw him on the news.
But I feel like, and I don't know if we should be influencing this. We are the ones taking the trip with him.
Correct.
So I think that if you want to walk into West Georgia or Georgia State where you are not known as the Jim Dunaway, that is more of an that is more of an uncomfortable conversation than Steven and Bruce and or Coach Oates.
Yeah, I at least could drop a name. Go ask Coach Pearl if it's a problem.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and then if he says it's a problem,
then we got problems.
Then ask to be led to the practice gym.
Okay, a lot to get to today on the show, but we're gonna start here with the big story that ended. We've been following this thing for the last couple of days, 3 days. Dan Hurley, and it finally came to the end after our show was over with yesterday. But he decides to stay with UConn. He sends out that he was humbled through the whole process yesterday and throughout the weekend when he was out in Los Angeles. And I'm going to ask you guys a question. First off, do you think it was money? Because it was rumored it was going to be $100 million. Turns out, according to Woj and ESPN reporting, that it was a 6-year, $70 million offer, not $100 million. Do you think maybe the Lakers got a little cheap here?
I don't know. I think that if they really wanted him, they could have thrown out any number. And that's why I was a little confused, because if it was about the money, I feel like they could have, I don't know what their checkbooks look like, but I feel like they could have afforded that. I am leaning more that how many times do you have the chance to go back to back to back in college?
To go three-peat.
Three-peat.
Last time it happened was John Wooden. The only other time it happened was John Wooden and UCLA back in the early 70s. That was back in the 1900s for you kids that are helping me out with the show this week.
And how many did they win in a row?
They won 10. I don't think it was all in a row, but I'll have to go back and check.
Was it 7 in a row? For some reason, I feel like it was 7 in a row, but I could be very wrong.
I think it was like 7 in a row or something like that. Yeah. So they were a dynasty.
Yeah.
Right.
They were a dynasty.
I was listening. I can't remember who I was listening to on the radio this morning, but I was listening to someone on Sirius XM. They were saying, why would they were saying this is kind of embarrassing, and why wouldn't the Lakers, before they got him on a plane and made it so public that he was going to be flying to LA to talk with, the people that he needed to talk to, why wouldn't they have said, what do you need us to do to make this happen? And then make that happen before he gets there. So, he's not getting back on this plane without us knowing that this is a done deal. So I didn't know. I thought that was kind of interesting that.
Yeah.
I mean, you both had interviews up here in recent memory, right? You can still remember yours now a little over 2 years ago, and yours hasn't even been a year yet.
Nope.
When you came up here and met with Reed and Brownie and the folks, we pretty much tried to blow you away with an offer at some point, right? It was a good offer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 Well,
I mean,
You did not look like it was a great offer.
No, because the story behind that.
Yeah,
well,
I could be making a lot more money, to be honest.
No. There's a story behind that of me giving you guys an offer.
Yeah.
So there's another layer to that.
Yeah. Well, there's a little back and forth.
It was a back and forth.
You don't think Hurley's agent threw an offer to the Lakers?
But I guess I can say this. I don't know.
No, let's don't talk numbers.
Well,
I don't want people to know how much money
no,
we're
I'm
paying
just saying that I really wanted to work here. So
Okay.
I was willing to forego some compensation to be a part of the team. Luckily,
Okay.
Reed
All right.
said, no, we will pay you.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. That's why.
Okay, so you made an offer we couldn't refuse.
Yes, there we go.
And we can't. Oh, yeah, I know this.
There we go.
I know that. But
Anyways.
to your point, there's a little yin and yang in
Yes.
negotiating, and the Lakers ended up coming up short. The bigger thing I want to ask, and I would love the chat room's thoughts here, is there's been a big conversation the last 2 or 3 years about the way the NIL and the portal is in college, that all the college coaches are miserable.
Yeah.
All the great college coaches. It's why Nick Saban retired. It's why Jim Harbaugh went to the NFL. It's why Jay Wright retired a few years ago, that everyone wants out of college because it's so miserable. The calendar is so bad. Blah, 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 blah. Is this a big win for college athletics, Taylor? I mean, they kept Dan Hurley away from the Lakers.
I think when it comes to that, so for this upcoming season, and I'm assuming, like EG said, winning back-to-back national championships probably played a role in it. He knows that he has had success, has the recipe for success, and he's proven that he can do it at UConn. He has his roster. It's not like he's still having to recruit a massive chunk of his roster right now. So in my mind, I'm wondering if he ends up if his ultimate goal is to win another national championship, and that's when he might consider, opening the door to other opportunities or calling it quits with college. Right now, it's not like he has a ton of work. It's not like he's rebuilding another roster right now, completely rebuilding.
And his age,
if that makes sense,
too, plays a factor. How old is he? 51?
51.
Yeah.
So the NBA is going to be there. It's not like they're going away.
Still going to
Right.
be there. Still going to be there. On a TikTok I did for us yesterday that did not make it on Nightly News, I pointed that
yeah.
out. I mean, he could coach 20 more years.
Yeah.
And do it at UConn. He could wait for a Northeastern job to pop open, the Knicks, the Celtics, where he's from. His wife's happy in the Northeast. And by the way, last year, 2 years ago now in basketball terms, when they won their first national championship, he signed a 6-year, $32.1 million contract. The offer that was on the table when he was flying to Los Angeles was 6 years, $50 million. And the Lakers were only beating that by $20 million. I don't want to sound like I live in a wonderful mansion or anything, but is it really worth $20 million more to go do something else?
Well, and the dynamic and the environment is so different. Yes, you're not dealing with transfer portal. You're not dealing with the woes of college athletics, but you're in charge of LeBron James.
That's
Is
right.
LeBron
Or
James in charge
LeBron-
of you?
that's what I was about to say.
Or are you in charge of LeBron James?
That's right. Are you the boss, or
Yeah,
are you the
who is it?
Or
Right.
is LeBron your boss, and you're
Yeah.
having to do what LeBron wants?
Exactly.
It's a great point.
This is interesting. Blake in the chat room said this, which I have not run any of these numbers, but it's an interesting point. He said with California taxes, I believe his Lakers annual salary would have been $6 million. I feel if the Lakers said it's $10 million after taxes, he probably wouldn't have taken it. And isn't he making $7 million? Or what was he making at UConn?
It was 6 years, $32 million, so about $6 million
yeah.
a year.
Yeah,
right?
so if that's correct,
Yeah.
then
By taxes, he's going to end up with his new contract at UConn making the
More,
same money he was
yeah.
going to make or more than he would have
Right.
with the Lakers.
Well, could he have done what Shohei's doing and done some residency in Texas or Florida?
I don't know. I feel like that's going to be a loophole. It's going to be closed.
I don't know.
yeah,
I
that
don't
is
know.
such a loophole.
It is. I mean,
But there are a lot of
I
people
would-
doing it.
public
I don't blame
loophole.
him. I would
Yeah.
do it too.
A lot of people are doing it. Okay, so he's sticking there. How it impacts Alabama basketball, right after I tell you about our friends at Urology and Auburn basketball. But Alabama was the team that was the betting favorite to win the national championship at one point last week. So with Hurley coming back, did that change after I tell you about Urology Centers of Alabama? UCA, as men get older, you need to start worrying a little bit about your internal health in certain situations, like Urology Centers of Alabama deals with prostate health all the way to kidney stones, everything in between. In your 30s and on, 205-930-0920, 930-0920. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. They've got 16 locations all over the state of Alabama. Find the nearest one to you, set up that appointment, and stay on top of your health. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. First off, on the shirt here, Rowback is the shirt I have on, nice little golfing shirt. I was told by someone
Me?
that it was Flag Day this week, and I couldn't remember if it was today or later this week.
No, it's on Friday because it's my brother's birthday and
My dad's birthday. So happy
It's a
early
great
birthday,
day.
Dad. And my dad loves America.
Yeah,
so
my
much.
brother does too.
Okay, so I was like, how fitting of
It's
him to be
awesome.
born on Flag Day.
on Flag Day. So Flag Day's Friday, not today, Jim.
yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
But
But-
we'll dress accordingly on Friday.
Yeah, you can celebrate early.
Yeah.
That's fine.
This is like I got into a paintball contest with
Jackson Pollock sneezed on you.
I got into a paintball contest with a lot of Revolutionary War people.
I
back
like it.
in the-
And the American flag on the back is a
American
nice
flag on
touch.
the
Yeah, that's my
That's-
favorite part of those Rowback shirts.
Yeah.
Rowback.com. Use the promo code TNR20 and you can rock a Rowback, and your first purchase there 20% off. Thanks to all of
Yeah.
us here.
We could say it's also for the U.S. Open.
U.S. Open
It's
this week as
perfect.
well.
Yeah.
It really is because I'm playing golf later this afternoon.
there it
so
is.
I wanted to throw it on. Now back to the betting odds to win the national championship. It did change after the Hurley announcement that he's coming back with our friends at mybookie.ag, and several other outlets. UConn, once again, the favorites to win the national championship to three-peat at plus 1,000. Kansas is now second at plus 1,200. Duke third at plus 1,400. Alabama fourth at plus 1,500. Auburn is tied for 10th at plus 3,000, and that's the betting odds to win the national championship. We'll talk to Chris Youngblood, new member of that stacked, stocked, and ready to roll Alabama basketball roster, coming up on the show live next. So we get Chris Youngblood from Alabama camp coming up in our next segment to talk a little bit more basketball. Did want to get a little college football in before we end the opening segment here. And when you think college football, this time of year, you guys are different generation, but for a lot of our viewers, going to Memorial Day, to the beach, to the lake this time of year, it was all about getting the preseason magazines. Magazines are a book that are put
Thank you.
together where
Yeah.
you flip through them on flights and or
I bought one last year, the college football preseason.
You
one
did?
last-
You
literally less than 365 days ago, yes.
Yeah, so I was joking about
Yeah.
magazines. A lot of them don't really exist anymore, but we do have magazines still. And one of the SEC influencers, Cruz Oxenrider, sent this picture out yesterday. He from Lindy's magazine, and he made a point. It's weird to see Alabama at number 7 in the preseason magazine. Lindy's, by the way, from right here in Birmingham is where they produce that. Lindy's, top 10 over there, Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Ole Miss, Michigan, Alabama, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Florida State in the top 10. You go by the magazine to get the whole preview there, but he said it's weird seeing Alabama at number 7, not number 1, not number 2. Is it weird for you guys?
It's been a while.
Yeah. You guys have Auburn grad, Georgia Southern grad, but you came here last year, covered Alabama.
Yep.
Just your thoughts on how different it is going into this year without Nick Saban. Even the magazines look different.
Well, when was the last time that Alabama was ranked at that level?
For sure,
That's
Lunsford.
what I want to know. Anyone know that answer?
Last
Chat
time
room?
Alabama was number 7, I'm going to say it was 2008.
Dang. So yeah, I mean it's
Wait,
interesting.
Put it in context. How old were you guys in 2000?
I was 7.
You were 7?
9 or 8.
8 or 9? Yeah.
I mean it's different, but I think that one thing that is working in DeBoer's favor is that the expectations are low, you could say. So if I'm him, I'm not mad about that. I think that it's a competitive spot. You're still top 10, but it is weird that the Crimson Tide is not sitting at that number 1, number 2, even number 3 spot.
Okay, I think I, in a sense, disagree that the expectations are low because maybe not from like educated people, people that, you do this for a living and have for a long time. So you kind of know what to expect. You can look at the roster and tell. But I feel like the fans, which this probably wasn't the sense that you were talking in, but the fans, I feel like they've been so used to winning big games, winning SEC titles, winning national championships, that even though the greatest coach of all time has now retired and, a new coach is coming in, I feel like their expectations aren't going to change. I mean, do the people know how to handle, a 3-loss season, a 4-loss season? And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I feel like from a fan perspective, even though Saban's gone, their expectations are not going to change for the outcome.
I feel like the older fans may have more of a perception about what is success because they had to endure.
Yeah,
right.
But
there was a time when Alabama wasn't what Alabama is.
Like Landmine Believer says, you guys, speaking of you two, don't remember the Shula days.
No, I don't.
My parents talk about that all the time, how Landmine Believer said Taylor has no recollection of Auburn. It's gone now, but no recollection of Auburn dominating the Iron Bowl. My parents will randomly just say, you don't remember when Auburn used to win, they were the
one for the thumb, 6 in a row.
Right. So I don't know, but I think it's between fans and then between others, it's different. They obviously are going to look at it from a different perspective, but I think it's interesting.
We'll get back into a little college football coming up later on, but Chris Youngblood is up next with us. We'll talk a little Alabama basketball, why he chose Alabama, what's it like on that roster as they're running through practice right now, 13 deep, and how they're all starting to blend together. Brody says 2008. Lunsford said 2008. They were in the 20s in the preseason ranking back then. We'll talk Alabama basketball when we come back. Odie's brings you this part of the show. Great locations down there in Crestline. Also, the new location in Homewood. It's the home of trivia on Wednesday night. Rockstar will be out there again tomorrow night. Wonderful place for the Diablo sandwich and the hamburgers and all the great lunch items they have there. And it's your local neighborhood bar. Check out our friends at Odie's, both in Crestline and in Homewood. Now back with the Chris Youngblood, new member of the Tide, when we come back on TNR.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Our friends at Longest Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Longest offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Longest offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Longest sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Longest has to offer you.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Back on the next round, we know how good the American, the AAC, is in basketball because we got UAB in town, and we see those teams roll in, and we watch UAB on the road. This next guy who's joining us was last year's co-player of the year in the AAC, and he is now a member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For the first time, let's welcome in Chris Youngblood to the show. Chris, man, how you doing? Welcome in.
Man, I'm doing great, man. Just working hard on campus. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you here. I want to ask you, first off, why Alabama? What did you see with Nate Oates, that coaching staff, and this roster that made you say, I want to leave a place where I was very productive and join the family there in Tuscaloosa? Why did you make that choice?
Really, as soon as you walk into the facilities, you feel the energy, like you just feel the winning energy. And then once I got in Coach Oates' office and we started talking about development plans and his plan for this, for me and the team and the expectations, man, it's something that I gravitated towards.
Chris, we talk a lot about your prior experience, your time at KSU and in South Florida. What about your time there prepared you to put on an Alabama uniform?
Man, I would not be prepared for Alabama if it wasn't for going through them hard times, because Lord knows it was tough times them first couple of years at Kennesaw. Like, I think I won a combined 10 to 12 games in 2 years. Then that third year at Kennesaw, we won 20, it was like 25-8, something like that. So that prepared me for a lot. And I just carried that over to South Florida, and now I'm here.
I when I was covering the team through the NCAA tournament, I met a couple of parents, and they were just blown away at the detail when the coaches sat down with a player and the parents on how they had broken down film and tape and the analytics and sort of laid out the path. Can you talk a little bit about that? You touched on it in your first answer because they sort of showed you the future. Can you talk about how detailed the staff is and really all the math problems they do? They do a lot of math over there. I hated math in school, but they do a lot of math over there.
Yeah, so our film session, I think it was only supposed to be like 20, 30 minutes, but man, they're basketball junkies, and I'm a basketball junkie too. So I end up going for an extra 45 to an hour, and then Coach, actually Ryan Pannone, he's like the Yoda of basketball. It's crazy. And I just fell in love with that because I'm like, man, because I'm a very detailed, and to be good at sport, you gotta pay attention to the details. So once I saw how closely they pay attention to the details, they were correcting me And I was like, I would correct myself, and they would give me another counter to that correction. It was just like, yeah, this is the place because how serious I haven't even committed yet, and they're treating me like I'm one of their players, and I'm like, yeah, this second to none.
Speaking of being a basketball junkie, there's a rumor, and I want you to confirm if this is true, that you've only missed one game in your college career. If that is even ballpark, do you have a process by which you do to prepare your body for games like this? Is there a secret recipe that you want to reveal? But I've got to know the details on this.
Yes, as long as one game. It wasn't even for injury purposes. It was I might have got a flagrant to the game before. I might have got suspended when I was younger. But yeah, it was just more so just having a professional approach about how you treat your body because man, to be a pro, you gotta be a pro on and off the court. So just staying consistent, getting a routine with your body, and it's pretty simple. It's not easy, but it's simple.
Well, what's the worst thing you eat? Like, what's the worst thing that you put in your body and you go, man, I'm going to have to make up for that one in the gym today?
Yeah, I try to have a balance. Like, I might get one or two cheat meals every 2 or 3 weeks, but my sweet tooth is terrible. Like it's ridiculous. But food wise, I eat good. I eat Chipotle. Like, it's pretty simple: Chipotle, grilled chicken, rice. But like my sweet tooth, there's this cookie place called Crumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am in love with. Like I am in love with. Like the cookies are perfect size. I'm a big guy. I keep about one or two of them call it a day, but Crumble and get some milk and you call it.
Yeah, we've tried this once before with Crumble. I forget which athlete it was last year that was a big Crumble fan. We tried to get him an NIL deal with Crumble, so we'll try to do the same thing with you. We'll see if we get a Crumble NIL deal.
If that's true, your Mondays have got to be amazing.
Yeah, I love them.
We'll try to get that. So this roster, and I got to ask you about this because as you know, we covered the team. They were in the Final Four last year, so you have those guys back. And then everyone that Nate Oates brought in this year, I was like, that guy's a starter. That guy's a starter. That guy. You guys have 13 guys that I think could be a starter. How is this playing out in practices right now, and how do you think that's going to help this team throughout the season?
Right now, the practices are very, very intense and fun and competitive, and that's what you want your practices to be like. In June, like you want to just iron sharpen the iron. Like nobody's really, not that I know, nobody's really paying attention. Oh man, I need to get this star spot. It was just everybody just competing at a high level and just trying to get better. Because that's right now that should be the main focus. Like we're not gonna really worry about the lineups probably to the week before the game. I mean, it's up to Coach Oates. Right now, as players, man, we just keep on making each other better, competing at a high level every single day, and that's what wins championships.
What have the conversations been like between you and your new teammates as you've kind of adjusted to the Crimson Tide?
Yeah, I've talked to Latrell and then Mark Sears a lot, like and like returner wise, and I'm just picking their brain, just getting the feel for how everything was around here last year, how Coach Oates and how all the other coaches like to do things. So it's really just picking their brain so I get a good feel. But I just, based off what I heard, it's going to be a lot of high intense practices and a lot of competing.
Yeah. Has Big Cliff put back in anybody's face yet?
Oh man, it's funny. Yeah, Big Cliff, he got me last week. He blocked my shot pretty bad last week, and then yesterday in practice, I tried to dunk on him. Man, he's going to tell you if you talk to him, he's going to tell you it wasn't a foul, but just know he did not touch any ball.
I may have gotten word that you had one put back in your face, so that's why I had to ask you about that. So yeah, what's how much? I mean, these practices. I don't think a lot of fans realize how hard you guys work in June. Just run through a normal day for you guys right now. On a normal day, is there weights? Is there diet? Dietitians working with you on the court training. What are you guys doing on a normal day right now?
Right now, well, I can take you through my day because right now, like everybody, it varies depending on who it is. So my day, I'll probably get to shooting around 6:30, 6:45, and then I'll lift around 8 o'clock, get some treatment, and go home, chill for about an hour or two. Then we'll come back and get a workout in as a team at 1 o'clock. and we'll go for about a good hour and some change, and then we'll call it a day. But that hour feels like 2 hours. But you have fun. You're having fun. But that hour is high intense. It's competitive. It's fun.
Chris, we'll leave you with this. What are you looking forward to most playing in your hometown of Tuscaloosa?
Man, really just I would say the support, the fan base, because that's one thing I do remember about Alabama. It's the fan base, like it's second to none. Big town fan base, big town support. So just really feeling that love, especially when we're going to be winning at a high level. So I know fans that they love winning, so we're going to make sure that's taken care of. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to that part.
All right. Chris Youngblood, man, part of that Alabama roster that is being projected by some to be number one in the country when we get to the start of the season coming up in November. It'll be here quick. Chris, man, thank you for the time. We appreciate it and enjoy the crumble later today if you sneak one in.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Okay, buddy. Thank you very much. That's Chris Youngblood with us on the JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline as we talk a little basketball right here. In the middle of June.
Yeah.
How about that? And it seems like the basketball season is not ending around here, and
No.
a lot of people are excited about that.
Yeah.
Alabama, Auburn, UAB, Samford, they have this state buzzing. So does Dr. B,
He
a guy that
does.
has LT and Brown's hair coming
Yes.
back.
All right, so Dr. B offers Sensus Transdermal Infuser. This enables him to get various medicines and therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using injections. This is revolutionary as we can pinpoint delivery by patients' genetically specific products without needles. Go visit Dr. B over at UAB Hospital. He's awesome. I have gone to see him multiple times. I actually got to shadow him one time, but Dr. B is everything and more if you're looking to bring some thickness back into your hair or just touch up what you've got. Both Lance and Brown are doing their treatments. Lance is doing the transdermal infusions while Brown is taking the red light therapy route, putting on his hat with the red light therapy inside of it. So Dr. B for all of your plastic surgery and hair needs down at UAB.
We'll talk to Zach Blackerby tomorrow on the show. Zach will join us. You know him from the Village Vice. He's part of our family up here, War Damn Pods. We'll talk a little Auburn basketball and Auburn football with Zach on the show tomorrow as we get going a little bit later on. By the way, it's not part of our Four Downs today, but happy birthday to one of your favorite people in the world today. Do you know who it is?
Oh gosh, no, Dunaway. It's not you. So who could it be?
She turned 26 or 7 today.
Oh, Sadie Robertson.
Yeah, at one
Oh
point
my
somebody
gosh.
told you looked like her, right?
Yes, that is my celebrity lookalike, is Sadie Robertson.
Sadie Robertson is, I think, 27 today.
Yeah.
So happy
birthday, Sadie.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Sadie's birthday today. Let's see. Oh, contract extension. I love this story. Mike Tomlin got a contract extension yesterday with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why I love this story so much, first off, is that I think that Tomlin is a great coach. 11 playoff trips in 17 years. But it's really about the Rooney family and the Steelers that I love this story so much. Art Rooney continuing the legacy of his father by just not firing coaches. Tomlin is the third coach they've had in Pittsburgh since 1969.
It's incredible.
I mean, think of how many coaches get fired after 1 year or 2 years in the NFL.
Right. The coaching cycle is insane, and it really goes against everything that we see in the NFL and college football right now of the longevity and sticking with a coach despite some missed playoff berths and things like that.
11 playoffs in 17 years. He's 21 wins shy of being the franchise all-time winner, Mike Tomlin. But if you're not familiar with the Steelers' history, Chuck Noll was the coach from 1969 to 1991. They won those 4 Super Bowls in the 70s, and then they stuck with him through the 80s and all the way to 1991. Then Bill Cowher took over, 1992 to 2006. And since 2007, it's been Mike Tomlin. Cowher won a Super Bowl. Tomlin's won a Super Bowl. In fact, when Tomlin won the Super Bowl, he was the youngest guy ever to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So they're sticking with him there. It'll be a big contract. And an NFL record 17 seasons without having a losing season.
That's incredible.
17 years, they've never had a losing record. So Mike Tomlin gets that contract extension there yesterday. And if you're wondering, about the NFL, that'll be the next. Well, we got spring football going on, obviously, and we got the CFL going on. But the next NFL game is August the 1st. That'll be the first game of the year, the Hall of Fame game, 7 o'clock ESPN, Chicago and Houston. All right, there's our Chris Youngblood interview. We'll do 4 downs coming up in the next segment. Excuse me, not 4 downs. We'll do our 40 and 40 team college football talk when we come back on the other side. The show being brought to you by Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City was just out at a new house yesterday, starting to change the roof up there. That's him right there on the right. His crew putting up a little bit more at a new house. I think that was Odenville, he told me. They were working on their blue skies, but that roof on top of that house right there is getting the Storm Restoration Roofing treatment, and you can get that right now, 205-542-3531. That phone number gives you a free no-cost roof inspection, 205-542-3531, or go to Facebook or Instagram and just look up Greg from Pell City. He'll take care of you. He proudly supports us with that Next Round logo on his truck right there and on his signs, and we love that about him. He helps spread the word about us, and we help spread the word about him too. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. I could tell you a story about a lady in my church who the insurance company was going to pay only for half the roof, and Greg kept fighting and fighting and fighting till they ended up paying for the entire roof. Nothing out of pocket for her. That is the kind of guy Greg from Pell City is. You can get that treatment, 205-542-3531. It is Storm Restoration Roofing.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter @RockstarBHM.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Back with you on The Next Round. Dang, those Orioles are good. Braves are about to play them. Last night, Gunnar Henderson, playing my Tampa Bay Rays, hit the first pitch of the game over the fence. Major League leading 21st home run. I think Gunnar Henderson's 21 years old, too, or something like that. He's a youngster for the Orioles. Orioles 5-2 over Tampa. Just a cool little 4-game sweep of my Tampa Bay Rays. All the Orioles do now is they fly from Tampa. They go home to play the Atlanta Braves. More on the Braves in just a second. By the way, Yankees beat the Royals last night, too, in a battle of two really good American League teams last night. The show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. You may not be interested in losing a bunch of weight. If you are wanting to jumpstart your weight loss, Way to Wellness is the way to do it. You can do it without medication. They do have some helpful treatments there they can do, but also they can work with you in your diet. A free consultation like the guys are going through with the Leslie and her board certified team is just one click away. Go to the website at planforme.com, planforme.com, and you'll find out Way to Wellness has a plan designed specifically for you. Every plan is different. For me, I wanted to focus more on my cholesterol numbers that were getting too high and my blood pressure, which was getting too high. And instead of taking medication, Leslie thought that I could change my diet and that would help the numbers, and it worked. She literally saved my life. They can do things for you as well. The Meltdown guys are using Way to Wellness as well. It's a great, easy way to lose weight and change some vital numbers. No contract, no sign-up fees, and the first consultation free. Planforme.com, planforme.com. Braves and Orioles tonight. You're the big Braves fan. A new pennant race yesterday?
Yes, new pennant race out. You guys can go watch that. Me and Ush just kind of chatted for a little bit about this point in the season, the woes that the Braves are facing, and our overall opinion on it. It was pretty fun.
I know you know this, but the Braves are 16-19 since May 1.
Yeah.
And then I pulled these stats. They're 18th in runs scored and 17th in home runs this year. That's not what that lineup usually looks like.
No, it's not. And we were talking about this yesterday. What's interesting is that usually pitching has been a sore spot for us in the last few seasons. So now what we're seeing is great starting pitching being wasted because the bats can't produce and they're getting no help at all. And that is something that Braves country is having to get used to, that we're actually having some pretty solid pitching, but now all of a sudden our bats aren't producing.
Yeah, the 5:45 start time tonight in Baltimore. Atlanta, in the 3 straight games they lost to the Nationals, 5-24 with runners in scoring position. 5-24. Are they going to end up making a big move? There's talks about the star with the White Sox, Forster's White Sox, and your Atlanta Braves.
There has been, and me and Forster have talked about this. I'm not sure if we have enough to give for that to happen, but he would be a good replacement for Ronald Acuna.
Luis Roberts is who we're talking about.
Luis Roberts, excuse me. But it's interesting because, starting pitching is not typically AA's MO this time of year. We could see some relievers coming in, but starting pitching-wise, it's going to be guys already in the organization that will step up. And he's infamous for adding depth, especially in the outfield. And Jock Peterson, Jorge Soler, Adam Duvall. We already have Duvall. I'm looking forward to it. And I trust, since we've been in this situation before, that we will come out on the other side. But I do expect some moves to be made.
Yeah, still comfortably in the wild card.
Yes.
So chasing down the Phillies. May not really have to do that. Phillies in Boston tonight. You can watch that on television if you're still struggling seeing the Braves. 6:10, that's a TBS game tonight at Fenway with the Phillies, who are a little jet lagged coming back for London. Let's get to some college football. MyBookie brings you our college football 40-40 every day. We count down one team every show until we get to SEC Media Days, and it's brought to you by our friends at MyBookie.ag. When you go to MyBookie.ag, use the promo code next round. Promo code next round gets you a nice startup bonus right there. And that's what you get with our friends at mybookie.ag. You sign on bonus, you win with it one time, and it's yours forever. And they got great casino games for you there now. Don't have to worry about going all the way to Vegas or to Mississippi or anything. You can play right there at mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag. But the games as well, including the NBA Finals and some baseball action today. In-game props as well. It's all right there at mybookie.ag. Let's unveil the team today, Forrester. Where are we? We're at number 22. And here come the Cowpokes of Oklahoma State. Coached by Mike Gundy. I don't know why I said Gunday.
Gun day.
I like
Gun
it.
day.
Gun day.
He's playing a game down under. Gun day. Gun day. Mike Gundy, Stillwater, Oklahoma's Mike Gundy returns for what seems like his 20th year, but his quarterback.
It's his 20th year, too.
Has been there forever.
Forever.
It's his second year at Oklahoma State, but Alan Bowman is going into what? His
7th year.
7th year at quarterback. There's something about having experience.
There is. There's something about having experience. And one thing that I think is interesting about him is that he's actually better under pressure. So I found this stat that under pressure, he has only thrown 2 picks compared to 12 picks. So we can look at the schedule. I'm not exactly sure what they've got on the books, but I'm interested to see, because if they have a tough schedule, they might just fare better with Alan Bowman.
Here is the graphic. The Cowboys only have one losing season under Mike Gundy. They're at Kansas State, at BYU, at TCU, some of the games I pulled out, 3 biggest games. But that Big 12 schedule, when you look at it, and there's the whole Oklahoma State schedule, they got a Utah game on there that Utah's going to be the team to beat, but you get them at home at least there. You have Arkansas out of the SEC at home. You got West Virginia, which has improved. You got them at home, and you got Texas Tech at home, but it's the road games for me. Kansas State, BYU, Baylor, TCU, and then the end of the year against Colorado on the road there. Tough schedule for Mike Gundy. We've got him in at number 22. You can't talk Oklahoma State without talking about their big running back
Ollie
either.
Gordon.
Ollie Gordon's
about
back.
him.
He won the Doak Walker last year. And the key for him, you can't be a good running back without a good offensive line.
Right. And they have that. Now, defensively, they definitely are struggling. But I think when you have Ollie Gordon, you have that experience. It's going to be up to Ollie Gordon to produce how he did last season. Now, I think we talked about expectations at the beginning of the show, but really, he had no expectations last season.
No, nobody knew
no
who
one
Ollie
knew
was.
Who he was.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how he deals with the potential pressure that comes from being the best running back in the country.
That's right. So Ollie Gordon back behind an offensive line that returns every starter. Problem is their defense, like EG said, 123rd in yards per play allowed, and that is not good. It's got to get better. But you guys, 94 of you voted Oklahoma State in at number 22 in our 40 and 40, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Use the promo code next round. Sign-on bonus is right there for you. Some VIP perks as well. Win with that sign-on bonus once, and it's yours forever. Play the baseball games, in-game props, basketball back tomorrow night as well. It's all right there with our friends at mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag. We'll get to team number 21 tomorrow. It was a big recruiting day yesterday again. A lot of commitments going on. One from right here in town. Parker, 3-star cornerback from Parker High School, Timothy Merritt, is going to Miami. He's going to Miami. He says he chooses the Hurricanes over Alabama, Auburn, Arkansas, and Tennessee. Says Timothy there. Listen, I never know who's being offered what, but you trust a recruit. He's got the offers and all that. 3-star cornerback, Alabama, Auburn, Arkansas, Tennessee. I assume he had offers there, but Miami's where he's going to continue his playing career down there from Parker. Also yesterday, 4-star offensive lineman Christian Garrett picked Georgia over Clemson and Tennessee and USC. 4-star offensive tackle Zaire Addison picked Oregon over Ohio State, Michigan, and Georgia. 4-star defensive lineman Jalen Williams picked Michigan over Tennessee, Nebraska, Texas A&M. One thing I've noticed in the recruiting world now, minus Nick Saban, is that Alabama isn't on everybody's Final Four anymore. It used to be, and it seemed like 4 out of every 5 recruits, Alabama was one of the finalists.
That's a great point.
Not the case right now. Not that Kalen DeBoer is not doing well in recruiting, because we saw yesterday he got the big recruit, offensive line recruit that is going to help them tremendously in Carroll, who committed yesterday, Michael Carroll, 5-star by some circles, one of the best interior offensive linemen. So he's still doing well in recruiting. But it's also not always Georgia and Ohio State either. It seems to me, and I know this part of this is NIL, that it's being spread out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Do you get that feeling?
I do. The love is being spread. I think, again, you said it, a lot of that has to do with NIL, that it's in a way leveling the playing field, but at the same time, it's creating some pretty stark disparities, especially in I'll say like the group of 5 schools and places like that. But Miami has been something that we're seeing a lot. And we talked about it yesterday, that conversation really has been had, just how good Miami has the potential to be. We saw that kid pick Miami over Alabama and Auburn. And what was the other one on that list? Was Georgia on there?
Alabama, the kid that picked Miami, Alabama, Auburn, Arkansas, Tennessee.
Wow. I mean, all SEC, and he's headed to Miami. So it is interesting to see that Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State aren't necessarily the top, front runners anymore, but they still are on a lot of people's lists.
One more thing from college football. We're going to be doing the Meltdown crew. We're going to be at SEC Media Days when the new EA Sports College Football is done, but you can watch the Meltdown every day at 2 o'clock Central Time live on this platform, 3 o'clock on the East Coast. But the Meltdown on the day of the release will be at SEC Media Days in Dallas. They're going to do something special. But when we get back between SEC Media Days and the start of the season, we're going to have some fun with a new college football game. You say you don't play video games, but you're going to learn to play this and participate with us on what we're going to do. We're not going to let it out of the bag yet what we're going to do, but EG and Taylor and everybody's going to jump in and do this. But we keep getting little nuggets released about the EA Sports game. EA Sports yesterday released that they'll have a take the knee function to where once you're in where it's mathematically you can't lose, you can take the victory formation and then it will simulate the knee being taken the rest of the way and players will start coming onto the field.
I like that.
And the celebration will start. It is a cool feature unless you're the team we were just talking about in recruiting, Miami. That gives you a chance for Georgia Tech to clap back and say, don't do it. We dare you. Remember when Mario Cristobal did not take the knee? Fumble. Georgia Tech comes back and wins at Miami. And Mario Cristobal will be haunted by that non-victory formation for the rest of his coaching career, or at least until he wins a big championship. But if it's in the game,
it's in the game.
It's in the game. EA Sports there, college football. 74 days away from the start of the college football season. When we come back, we'll talk to Clay Travis. And then we, a little bit later on, next hour, we'll get to a this or that as our intern from Clemson, dressed in her Clemson orange today.
Yeah.
We'll jump in and give us a little this or that coming up. The show being brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports. We are always aware of injuries in athletics, but what about when it happens with all of us in our personal life? A guy like me, all of a sudden he decides to go out and try to dunk again on a 9-foot goal in the driveway, and I pull a muscle, or maybe my daughter falls off something at church and she rolls an ankle. First call we make is Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 205-512-3885, 512-3885. Orthopedic care is better together. They've got locations all over Central Alabama. I often use Dr. Patterson and the one in Alabaster, one in Jasper, one everywhere in between, all over the Birmingham area. You can find the one nearest you when you go to precisionsportsortho.com/2024. precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Part of the Brookwood family there. It's our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Pickleball, lawn care, wherever you tweak it, twist it, or pull it, they'll get you back. Diagnose it, treat it, and help you through rehab. It's Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics at precisionsportsortho.com/2024.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call GutterCapBirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 of the show now, being brought to you in part by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. Clay Travis in a second. Our friends at New York Butcher Shop get you ready for another weekend. It is grilling season out there. Man, I was playing golf on Sunday, and on hole number 16 at Ballantrae, somebody was grilling at their house backyard, and it smelled like heaven over there. You can get the great specialty meats right there at New York Butcher Shop. Go online to see the details, NewYorkButcher.com, NewYorkButcher.com. Locations in Cahaba Heights and Greystone. Smoked meats, prepared foods. They got great sandwiches for lunch as well. New York Butcher, NYButcher.com. NYButcher.com is the website there. It's our friends at New York Butcher. We'll talk more about the College World Series with Clay coming up here in just a second, and also a little Caitlin Clark conversation with Clay Travis in just a second. When he joins the show, the founder of Outkick, and he joins us every week. But I want to start off the conversation with him talking about Mike Tomlin of the NFL. Mike Tomlin got that 3-year extension. He's been there now forever in Pittsburgh, and that's just the way they do it there. If you're wondering, he started in Pittsburgh in 2007. This guy with the second longest tenure in the NFL is John Harbaugh, who started in 2008 with the Ravens. So both of those guys in the same division have been coaching their team since 2007 and 2008. Here's Clay Travis now from Outkick, the founder of Outkick, and you know him from his nationally syndicated radio show, and he's a friend of ours, and he's back with us now. Clay, welcome back. I want to start with Mike Tomlin. You live in an NFL city. You've watched the sport your whole professional life. What the Steelers do with coaches is pretty dang amazing. 3 coaches since 1969. I sort of like that approach. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, and I think it speaks to the culture and the durability that they've created for the overall Pittsburgh Steelers organization, that everybody they've plugged in has been successful. Now, I also think Mike Tomlin is incredibly underrated as a head coach. I think he's one of the top 5 guys, certainly if you consider longevity overall in terms of his performance. And again, I think that's become somewhat of a rarity. It used to be there were lots of organizations that had sort of that longevity when it came to coaching. Now we sort of live in this microwave era where at any point in time people expect that they are going to end up in a situation where if you were bad for a couple of years, it's time to move on.
Clay, this is Emily Grace McWhorter. It's not Lance Taylor or Ryan Brown.
He recognizes the voice, yes.
Anyways.
Yeah, I was confused otherwise. I was thinking, man, that sounds a lot like LT.
Caitlin Clark, the discussion around her has continued to increase in the last few days. I want to ask you from a business and marketing standpoint, why is it a mistake to leave her off of Team USA?
Oh, I mean, look, I think it's business malpractice. Because it's not remotely difficult to contemplate. Just look at the data for the WNBA. Certainly you can look at the data from Iowa against both LSU and South Carolina. She brings in millions of fans that otherwise aren't going to pay attention. She's tripled WNBA ratings this year. I think if she were on the team, it's likely that she would triple the number of people that would watch the Olympics for women's basketball. And so if your goal is to grow the audience that is exposed to your product, which is basically the goal of every business that's ever existed that I know of throughout the history of mankind, then you need to get in front of them. And one of the biggest challenges that we have in this day and age is that, man, it's just so hard to cut through the noise and get people to pay attention to what you say. And she's done that. And I think it is indefensibly moronic that they did not put her on the U.S. women's basketball team. And you know, people say, oh, well, she's not one of the 12 best. Okay, that's arguable. But Tiger Woods is not one of the 12 best golfers. If I were doing a golf tournament right now, he would be my number one overall draft pick because people care more about Tiger Woods than they do a lot of people who are some of the top golfers in the world right now. Same thing would be true, by the way, of Phil Mickelson. So I can't believe that they made the choice that they did to leave her off. And I think it's just part and parcel of the struggles that we've seen overall. They spent the last 30-some-odd years arguing, why won't anybody pay attention to women's basketball? Why will no one give us a bit of overall cachet? They've suddenly got it in spades, and it feels like they're tripping all over themselves and trying to find reasons why people should not be paying attention to their sport. They got a gift. And they've totally blown it.
You know, I think soccer fans and analysts made that mistake for decades in our country, Clay. They always wanted us to watch soccer and pay attention to soccer. And as we tried to do it during World Cup times or Olympics, they would tell us how dumb we were about cheering at the wrong time or that. I think it's a mistake when you've got new audiences. You need to embrace them, right?
Oh, it's not just soccer. It's any niche sport. I used to talk about this on my morning sports talk radio show. I would never pay attention to hockey except in the playoffs. And hockey guy would always be, and soccer guy is the same way. Why do you never talk about us? Why do you never talk about us? Why do you never talk about us? And then we would talk about either of those sports, and immediately they would say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And I always just would get on and just kind of, on some level, it feels like soccer and hockey and other sports that are niche, WNBA, would rather have their diehard core that is small than grow into something more substantial, which would require you to have casual fans. And let me kind of put it into perspective. Every year, the Super Bowl, the number of people who watch the Super Bowl doubles, right, compared to the NFC and the AFC championship game. Now, I always watch the NFC and the AFC championship games. I imagine most people who are listening to us right now do as well. But there aren't a lot of football fans who say, oh, my goodness, how in the world are we supposed to deal with the fact that the number of people that are now suddenly watching the Super Bowl has doubled? We hate casual football fans. Doesn't really happen, right? People are like, oh, you know what? Everybody's busy. The football season is sort of a national holiday when it comes to the Super Bowl, and I hope that's what's going to happen with the 12-team college football playoff, by the way. But the way you get diehard fans, you know how you get them? First, they're casual fans, and then you grow them into diehard. But if you don't have casual fans, you can't have diehard fans. And so to me, it's a no-brainer. You got to have casual fans if you want to be growing any sport. Whether it's soccer, whether it's hockey, or whether it's women's college basketball or the WNBA.
We know you are not a casual fan of the Tennessee Volunteers. They made it to the College World Series. With the bracket that's out, it's 4 ACC, 4 SEC. How excited are you for that? And what do you think Tony Vitello said about playing with house money this upcoming World Series?
I think he's right. And I love Vitello. I've gotten to know him decently over the past several years. I also, like Tim Corbin, Vanderbilt's couple of national championship winning coach, gotten to know him as well. I think that women's softball and the College World Series are the two most underrated sports that exist in America today. Every year when the NCAA tournament starts in the College World Series, I find myself just sitting down watching these games like crazy. I was up till after midnight on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast right now, watching the Kentucky game against Oregon State. I don't care about either of those teams ordinarily, but they were playing a whale of a game. I thought that Clemson, Florida, I think went to the bottom of the 13th inning, that incredible catch in the 10th inning. I get myself drawn into so many of these games and so many of the storylines. I think there's a decent chance if Tennessee advances that I'll fly into Omaha to watch the final series. I'm going to be on the road taking my kids this weekend down to the Atlanta Braves, which we try to do every year. So I'll be on the road for the first part of the College World Series. But I think it's an incredibly fun series, and every year I find myself caring a little bit more. And this year with 4 teams from the ACC and 4 teams from the SEC, and frankly, if you classify Kentucky and Texas as the South, which I kind of do, you got 8 different Southern teams that are all competing. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I imagine there will be a great deal of people all over the South for sure that'll be watching these games with great interest. You
probably already know this, but for your conservative talk show today, if you don't, last time only 2 conferences were represented in the College World Series, 1948, when there was only 2 teams that played in it, USC and Yale. Third baseman and captain of the Yale team, a guy by the name of George H.W. Bush. How about that?
It's pretty incredible. You know, Ron DeSantis, I had a conversation with him about this. I think a lot of people know this, but Ron DeSantis was the team captain of the Yale baseball team, and he said it was pretty cool. One day they got to meet, I think did George W. Bush play some college baseball for Yale too? But one day they just went, and he was not sure what was going on, but he said there were a bunch of security guards and snipers on the rooftops, and he got to meet, I believe, W and Senior. They had both come to watch a Yale baseball game, which is pretty cool.
Clay, man, we appreciate your time. We know that you're busy traveling around, and the kids are out there. Enjoy the summer with them, and maybe I'll see you in Atlanta this weekend as my Tampa Bay Rays battle your Braves. It'll be fun.
Are you going to be there? Yeah, we get in on Saturday. We're going to stay till Wednesday, watch a bunch of games, so it should be fun.
It stayed. It ended up being where we're going on my big family vacation. We leave on Sunday, so I may sneak over on Saturday, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll be watching from afar though.
For sure. Y'all have a good week.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, now in the syndicated talk circuit there always, a number of best-selling books, and a proud millionaire. He brags about that a lot. He does a lot of stuff.
Multi-billionaire. Millionaire.
That's right.
He's building a house.
JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline there. Show being brought to you as well by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We appreciate our friends at Bud Light, and I tell you, we're family up here, right?
Yeah, of course.
Close knit family. Our friends at Coca-Cola. We've been friends with them for a while. They're number one in the soft drink industry in the United States. Had a big moment. One of the Coke people up here did. Alec and Mary Payne Taylor welcoming their newborn, and we got pictures.
Oh, my goodness.
With the Coca-Cola logo, as only we could do it. Welcome to the world, Ridge. Ridge Sullivan Taylor is now in the world and part of the Coca-Cola family there. So congratulations to Alec.
Congrats.
And Mary Payne there, the fine folks at Coca-Cola. And from age Coke Zero to
Diet Coke.
When he gets to the twos, where he becomes
Coke Zero.
when he gets to the twos and he becomes Coca-Cola spiced at that point.
Wow.
And
so brother gets new Coke?
Gets new Coke later on. And then eventually he'll grow into a Coke Classic. Beautiful baby, and always good when we add to our family up here into the Coca-Cola family. We appreciate them so much. Little T will join us coming back in the next segment. But until she gets here, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the College World Series. NC State beat Georgia last night 8-5. As you said with Clay, there are 4 ACC and 4 SEC teams out there. Tennessee leads the country in home runs. They're number 1 in the country. They have 22 more home runs than the team that is second in home runs.
Wow.
So they really pound the ball. North Carolina has an interesting storyline in the World Series. Their best pitcher is Jason DeCaro, who just turned 18 2 weeks ago.
Just turned 18?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a senior in high school. He reclassified so he could go play on this North Carolina team. So he's barely 18 2 weeks ago, and he's at the College World Series this week. But the story I'm most intrigued by is Florida State. I'm an SEC guy, but Florida State, when I was growing up, had a great broadcasting school. And Georgia had a great broadcasting school, and Alabama had a great they all still have great broadcasting schools, by the way. But when I was growing up in the 80s, those were 3 schools I wanted to go to. But Florida State was always in the College World Series, and I was a high school baseball player, and I wanted to go play for Florida State.
For the Noles.
For the Noles, and be a broadcasting major and play at Florida State. I wasn't good enough to play at Florida State or Georgia or Alabama, or even Montevallo, because I got cut from the team very quickly there. But Florida State's been to the College World Series 24 times to the College World Series. That's third most all time. But they're the only team to go 20 more times and never win the national championship.
Never. So they've gone 20 times,
24
times, and 20 of those never won.
24 times, and they've never won it ever.
Wow.
24 times, 0 for
that.
24 in the College World Series. Mike Martin, who retired a few years ago and then has been replaced, second-year coach, has them there and is trying to be the first one to win the championship. It'd be fitting. It'd be a tribute to Mike Martin's career in life if they get there and they win the championship.
Is 24 appearances with no championship more impressive to you, or a team that goes once in the last 10 years and has not been back?
Like, I think Coastal Carolina went and won it.
Yeah, and so we haven't seen them. So what is more impressive to you? 24 appearances and no wins, or one win and 5 appearances?
You know, that's
maybe
a great question. I think I would go, it's, okay, you have that one great season and championships outweigh everything. I understand that. But to be a buoy for the sport, a peak of the sport, to be the best of the best for that many years. Florida State's one of the iconic programs. I think I'd rather be great
consistently
over the eternity of the sport.
Yeah.
For instance, I think Ohio State football, and I think I'm right about this, I think they only have 2 national championships. But you think of a time, when has Ohio State ever bad? I think they won one in 2014. Maybe they won one in 2000. Did they win that one against Miami? They did. 2002. They may have 3 national championships.
But they're viewed as consistently good.
But they're always good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you look at Alabama, they've won national championships since the 20s. They've got 18 since the 20s, the first 20s, not these 20s. They've got 18 national championships, but there's a winless season in there in the 1950s. Ohio State seems like they've been consistently good. Now, I'd rather have the 18 at Alabama. I'd rather be Alabama. But there's something to be said about Ohio State being good forever. There are certain programs like that. And Florida State is always good in baseball, minus last year when they didn't make the tournament. They seem to always be good in baseball.
And I think from sport to sport, that differs as well. Like, imagine going to the Final Four for 24 years and never winning. That'd be super impressive. And I think that with baseball, it is so competitive to appear there. I'm also going to agree with you that I think that is a pinnacle of that sport that is just super impressive.
Alabama baseball shortstop Justin LeBron was named first team All-SEC this year. Also named a freshman All-American yesterday. He hit 338 on the season. You're a big golfer.
I am.
And so is Mikey,
Yep.
the BF there. The BFF or the BF.
Yeah.
I don't know where he falls in your category there. Pinehurst #2 U.S. Open starts Thursday. I saw Tiger with Charlie helping him on the course yesterday.
with him.
Yeah, there's a lot of practice rounds going on at Pinehurst #2. Do you like it? And does Mikey like it when the U.S. Open is just grueling and everybody's fighting to just barely get to par or one under?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I've heard just a few interviews with like caddies, and a reporter asked, okay, is it playing easy, medium, or hard? And he goes, hard. Really, really hard. And I think that makes it more fun because the anticipation for this week is going to build with it playing that tough. And you want to see that. Golf can be exciting.
Yeah. See, I as a guy who hacks it around, I like to watch the best in the world get out there and really struggle. Like, just that look in their face,
creative.
like, oh my God, I've got to hit backwards out of this bunker,
right?
Or I've got to put this one to the left because it's going to roll all the way over there to the hole.
It was super fun to watch with that is Jordan Spieth.
Yep.
His shots are like, what is going on? And he has to get creative, and I think that's fun. Scheffler, we don't see it as much, and he's been called a boring golfer. I think that can be put to rest now after his trip to the jail cell. He didn't go to the prison.
He
went to the holding cell.
Yeah. I think those of us who have been arrested, holding cell is
the correct word. But with Scheffler, we don't see it very often. So I'm excited to see just kind of what transpires over the next few days.
Yeah, U.S. Open this week. Pinehurst #2 for that one. And Tiger is scheduled to play. All right, when we come back, we're going to bring in the intern, and we're going to do a this or that, and then we'll get back to some of the things happening in both college football and in the NFL as we roll on. And our buddy Buster.
Oh, my goodness.
Something happened to Buster. He's back with us Thursday. Something happened to Buster yesterday. We'll talk about that next on the show. But this month, we're concentrating on anxiety and PTSD in our Mental Health Minute. The new Mental Health podcast is up for you right now. It is brought to you by JohnsonRVCenter.com. Dr. Brett McCabe here explaining anxiety and how it feels and how it can impact your life.
For people out there that maybe haven't been diagnosed with it, how can you explain some of the symptoms where maybe it triggers and they can actually get out in front of this and reach out to local doctor and start the conversation?
Kind of an easy way of looking at it is if you've ever had like too much coffee or too many energy drinks or too much sugar, and you just got this burn inside of you that it's like we're trying to cram way too much in the smallest space. It feels like it's exploding. So it's taken over. Anxiety is the ultimate mind-body experience. The mind is racing, evaluating and scanning the world for threat, internally and externally. Your body, your heart rate is moving, your adrenaline is pumping. It's exhausting. And the best way to look at it for somebody who's never had it is to think about turning the car stereo up so loud in your car and you just can't quiet it down.
Yeah, anxiety is a problem. JohnsonRVCenter.com bringing you the mental health podcast that you can get on our platforms the rest of this month as well. LT and the crew doing the job there. We appreciate the doc being with us, and I appreciate a lot of appreciation to the Johnson family, Nick and the crew up there. JohnsonRVCenter.com. Find a lower price somewhere else, and they'll beat that price. RV warranties forever. 2 locations right up the road on I-65 for Johnson RV, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. It is JohnsonRVCenter.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok while we're changing the game yet again. Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with a TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
And I was just wondering in the commercial break, as Little T joins us now, today we're supposed to get the rest of the SEC football schedule start times, and I've been watching Twitter all morning. When's it going to drop? When's it going to drop? And then Little T said, stop worrying, Jim. Stop having anxiety about it. It's going to drop when?
2 p.m., according to Brandon Marcello.
2 p.m. Central or Eastern? Do you?
I'm pretty sure he just said 2 p.m.
Okay, so 2-ish or 1-ish, sometime after the show.
1. I will confirm right now.
Okay, we'll work on that. But yesterday we were having a little staff meeting up here, as we occasionally do.
Yep. With
everybody who's at work. We'll gather in the lobby and we'll sit around and chat about things we've done, things we want to do. And then, we're not a sit around the boardroom type of group up here, are we?
No.
We are not. We are lounging around. We're snacking and drinking and our sodas and our energy drinks and sometimes our high sodium IV drinks.
Dunaway's lecturing me because I've consumed like 3 liquid IVs in the last 24 hours because they came out with the 4th of July
Bomb Pop?
Yeah, Bomb Pop.
My mom loves Bomb Pop.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So we're sitting here yesterday and then Taylor interrupts a serious discussion about something and she says, "Oh my God, this video." What was this video?
Oh, the Bulls.
The bull.
It was. I scrolled past it on Twitter, and at first I read because it takes a second to get to the action, but the text said, "Wild bull jumps into crowd at," was it Oregon?
Oh no!
Oh, and it runs through the concession stand.
No.
People were injured.
Yeah, they blur it out here. Oh no, they don't blur it out here. Oh, the one I saw blurred it out. They didn't there. Boy, this guy gets 2 different angles.
Oh.
That is horrible. I've got the location.
And the guy in the peach shirt got avoided, but the guy in the red shirt, no.
Yeah, Party Bus is the name of the bull.
Party Bus? That was not a party for them.
Yep. Party Bus is the name of the bull. It's in, I think, Sister, Oregon. And it is their local rodeo. They do it every year in Oregon. And I don't know if they've ever had a bull jump the fence before, but you're right. The guy in the red gets it, but nobody else. I mean, that is a flip, and it looked like he got speared too. On top.
I don't know.
We need an update on that a little bit later on. That is some serious situation there. Show being brought to you today by our friends at Hemphill. Going into the high 90s this weekend. Beautiful day today. I think the high today is 84, sunny, perfect day for golf. 96 with a heat index into triple digits this weekend here in the Birmingham area. That's where our friends at Hemphill come and save you basically if your cooling system goes bad. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or even at your business. Keep in mind Hemphill works well with businesses as well. They're ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. As we always say about Hemphill, if it's not running right, draining right, flowing right, or whatever right, Hemphill can make it right for you with our friends at Hemphill. 205-229-2090. Hemphill Services. The name Birmingham's trusted since the 1950s. All right. We'll get back to sports in a second. But Anne-Marie's back with us.
Woohoo!
The intern, Anne-Marie. First off, show everybody your hair is covering up the logo, your sporty little outfit you got on today.
I'm repping for sure.
Clemson
today.
Tigers.
It's comfy.
I mean, we don't have enough Alabama up here all of a sudden.
Holy.
We need more Bama up here.
Said no one ever.
GATA.
So Clemson is in the house, a little internship. She did this was it last week you did the first this or that for us?
I did.
And she made the mistake of coming in and saying, did you like the one last week? And Emily Grace beat me to the punch and said,
you would know if you didn't.
If he didn't like it, he would have said, one, he would have told you he didn't like it, and the second one, he would have never asked you to do it again.
That's kind of reassuring in some ways, but scary in others, a little.
No, you never have to wonder.
Well, that's good. It does it like you're not guessing.
Yeah.
I'd rather someone be upfront with me than not.
Yeah,
that's almost worse.
I'm a hard coach. Coaching hard is all I'm doing. But this or that, we have no idea what it's going to be. And she's going to throw it out for us here, and we'll react to this or that. Okay,
so let's do it. Hopefully Dunaway doesn't yell at me after and tell me it was bad.
Hey, I'm in such a good mood. It does not matter.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so first thing I have. What is scarier to you, outer space or the ocean?
Ocean.
We just talked about this yesterday about going to the ocean.
Going to space.
Oh, good.
Going to space or doing the deep dive to the Titanic again. So start us off. You said ocean. Why?
I think first, outer space, I will never go.
Yeah.
So that's not really a threat to me. There might be some scary creatures out there, but that's won't be a threat to me because I will.
Can I put a pause there?
What?
So
I believe in aliens.
You'll say you'll never go. Just say, say 20 years from now, because who knows what technology is going to be in 20 years from now. What if space travel is the price of a ticket to London, like $649?
I'll go.
Let's say Delta has a space flight now. And let's say you can go from, wait for me, just follow me here, a rocket splash down in Australia instead of a 24-hour flight. It ends up being like an hour and a half trip to Australia. You can go down under in 90 minutes if you do it in a rocket up into space and then splash down for $649.
And Auburn's playing an away game in Mars.
Yeah, I mean, I would go for that for sure. I don't really know how gravity would work, but
see, that's what I was asking. Are you saying I would never go into space because I'm so scared of it, or just because I'll never have that opportunity because you're not part of NASA?
No, I'm not so scared of it. I don't really even know. I've never thought about it enough to be scared of it.
Right.
I don't think I'll ever go. I mean, if I could get to somewhere super far away closer by going up higher in the sky, then sure. But I don't have a desire to go land on Mars or land on some, outer space planet for fun. Like, I would never pay to do that. How some people will pay to go on these extravagant trips. I would never pay to do that.
Me either.
I love to go to the beach. So
it looks boring, doesn't it?
I mean,
it's a lot of emptiness.
It is.
Like, what are you going to do unless you're trying to do research or something like that, which I have no desire in or no desire to do, then I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know. I'm kind of even on them. I think that the magnitude of space is very intimidating because it just goes on forever. The ocean is scary because it's so deep, but there's not like a mystical creature like lurking.
Wait,
well,
I have
there's like 75% of the ocean has not been discovered.
This is my argument for that. But if there was this giant animal living in the Mariana Trench, by, not to get nerdy on y'all, but like by its eating patterns, we would know. Because like think about how big whales are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
well, what if it's eating some whales, and that's why
pressure,
they're almost extinct?
The pressure and the light down there, it wouldn't be conducive to a giant animal.
It doesn't have to be a giant animal. It could be something that just sticks to your body.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, I guess the microscopic animals could be scary, but I guess
it's very cold.
Yeah, it'd be cold. I would want to go up to space over going down to the Mariana Trench.
So you don't believe in aliens?
No.
I mean, I don't have a reason. If there's a creature living in the space, then great. I hope they're doing well. but I don't have a strong opinion on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I will fight for one side or the other. I don't really have any interest, and I've never looked into it.
I feel like when we have this discussion, it's like the deepest point of the ocean or space. It's not like the coastline to me. Do y'all agree?
Wait, like which is scarier?
Yeah, like in my mind, it's like
ocean, 100%.
Yeah, it's like, but the deepest point of the ocean is what my brain goes to, like going down the deepest point of the ocean or space. So I'd rather go to space.
I mean, just in the last year, we've proven that right now we're better at going to space than we are at trying to get down to the Titanic, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a horrible tragedy.
I'm sorry, I'm really bad about getting sidetracked, but that was the biggest story for.
Yeah.
It was this time last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of.
This time last year for a few weeks, or I can't remember how long. And then it's just gone. No one talks about
hours.
it anymore. No one talks about it.
And she was telling me somebody's going to try to do it again
this
summer.
Why? See, that's where I could not.
Yeah.
Like that's like I would need to have multiple
expeditions.
Yes, before that. And I think that more this question was like, what's scarier, because it's like what's unknown. Because there's like the ocean is so big and so deep, because like you said, we don't really have a lot of experience, and we've like failed to go like far under. So it's like what's scarier, because we don't know it's necessarily all the way out in space, but we don't know it's just scary.
What's the next one?
Okay. In general, are you a caller or a texter? Because I know some people like to call versus text.
Oh, I hate
Emily Grace reminds me of a caller. She's a caller.
I've revealed.
I
do. Yeah. I have revealed my like call log on this show, and it was embarrassing. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It took a while.
I hate to be fully honest, but I do this too much all the time. I am a texter, and I am a judger of how long it takes you to text me back.
Shocker. Breaking news.
Well, I kind of, I see where, I feel like for me, it depends if your phone's on Do Not Disturb, because if I can see it, then I'm like, okay, whatever. But it also depends, like,
Someone up here
that
I have to text a lot just with our job. This is the one that bothers me the most.
Just say it.
But I don't take it personal, little T.
No, you don't. Oh.
Okay, so I'll send her a text, right,
about
something, or maybe it's a compliment that you're doing so great on Uncorked. Your Uncorked was really good tonight, or blah, blah, something good, cheering for Taylor. I'll send her something, and then she'll reply, and then maybe like, a minute later, I'll text her right back to whatever she just texted, or hit a heart or a thumbs up, and then it's the return that it's notifications are silent, and I'm like,
well, okay, may I have a rebuttal, please?
Yes.
So the reason that I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb is because all of my devices are connected.
Right.
So say it's 10:45 and we're obviously in the middle of a show, and a group chat of 12 of my college friends all start going crazy about something. I don't want to get 25 texts from or my family group chat, which is massive, from anyone, because then it pops down on my iPad, which I'm trying to work on, which is distracting. So I leave it on Do Not Disturb anytime that I'm working, because it just
no, but I just texted you. It was not on Do Not Disturb.
Oh God.
If it's no, Dunaway, listen, I'm not done yet.
Oh.
If
You're
it is
disturbing.
around at night, at some point, I don't even know what time it's set for, but at some point of the night, my phone goes into sleep mode for when I'm going to bed. So if you're texting me around like probably 9:45, which is when my phone silences everything, so you could text me at 9:30, I answer at 9:44 because you're going to text back a minute later, which I appreciate, then it could go on.
So I'm on a 2-night in a row perfect timing of texting, reply text, and when I text back, it's been perfectly timed out. By the way, I'm not crying. I've got allergies that are hitting me today, and I'm tearing up a little bit.
Dunaway, no. Well, Dunaway, let me just say this.
So you're a caller.
This was a very sensitive question. I was unaware.
No, he also thought that I had his number blocked because it was going straight to. No, I have used the focus feature, and I would put there because sometimes they'll text me and ask me a question or something on air, and I put y'all's numbers on that thing. But then again, like after work, if I'm trying to work, I just get distracted very easily. So it's a personal problem. But your number was never blocked from my phone. Your calls go straight to
Most
voicemail.
of it, I'm just giving you a hard time. What's next?
Most of it.
Okay, yeah, we'll move on from that one. Okay, the next one I have is if you go to a Mexican restaurant, you have to choose queso or guac.
Queso.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm actually, I'll dabble in queso.
Yeah.
I'm a salsa addict. And guacamole is a tweener for me. It's got to be really, really good guacamole, and I
Do you
love
have
it.
good guacamole?
Yeah,
No?
but
Okay.
a lot of guacamole is not good. Like it's sitting out in a thing, and
It's
they
brown.
scoop it. Yeah, brown on the
Gross.
top edges. I don't like it. But we had the greatest guacamole of all time
Oh
at the
my
Rose Bowl trip.
gosh. We
Really?
had the greatest salsa, it was the greatest. I think about it on the daily. I
Yeah.
love Mexican food. I love tacos.
I never can remember the place. And when I was out there for the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, I was like, I'm going to go to that place.
Sol y Luna. If
Yeah.
you're ever in LA, go.
Yeah, and I was like, I wasn't driving, so I don't even know where the hell it is. This
It's
is a big
incredible.
place. Los Angeles is big.
It was off the highway.
Yeah.
Literally, the highway was
There's
here.
a lot of
and it was
highways out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I couldn't find a place. So you both are just
Queso.
instantly
Oh
queso.
my gosh, yes.
I don't have a problem with
Yeah.
guac, but I eat queso. I have to
Same.
kind of be in a mood for it. I will
I
say, oh my
agree.
God, I'm craving queso. I never say, oh my God,
Yeah,
I'm
that's actually true.
craving guacamole.
It is salsa, great guacamole, and then queso.
No,
Wow.
That is just horrible.
That's a hot take.
One of the early fights for young Maggie and Jim when we were dating was she was a dip into my salsa
Yeah.
person.
So good.
My mom does that.
I do
And
that.
I was like, no.
Not a mixer.
I say, now you're getting cheese in my
It's
salsa.
so good.
And it was okay because we were dating, right? And I was trying to, get a kiss.
I'm going to
but-
make this a poll question.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
good
it's
idea.
okay. So we have to get, even before the pandemic, we were getting separate salsas so she could jack it up with all the cheese.
That's really funny, actually. All right, the next one I have is TikTok or Instagram. Because I know some people like the Reels, but some people like TikTok. But then I also kind of think that TikToks just get reposted on Reels a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'm going to show my age. I'll go first here. I like Instagram a lot better than TikTok, though TikTok just got me on the nightly news, NBC Nightly News.
True.
Here's my problem with TikTok is that it is a time warp, and I'm on it because of I was never going to have TikTok until Taylor said get TikTok. So now I will start, and the algorithms are crazy. So I love stand-up comedy and I love live music. Those are two things
So
I
that's
love.
your algorithm.
Right? And so then it's like stand-up comedy, or here's a live performance of the Killers, at whatever festival in Europe. And then it's, comedian, live performance of, so-and-so. And I'm like, this is it just feeds in. And next thing you know, I started that. I was like, I'm going to see what's going on TikTok real quick, see if anybody's posting anything that I know. And it's 10 o'clock. And next thing you know, I just feel like I've done it for 5 minutes and it's 11:30.
Yeah.
90 minutes later.
It really does. It's scary how much time you can spend on that app.
I agree. And I think, have y'all heard the proposition of people are going to have to add in credits to TikTok because your brain, when you see, for example, when you're reading a book, you have chapter endings. You're like, okay,
Right.
this is an ending spot. Or with movies, the credits roll. And so your
Right.
brain is like, okay, that's finished. But on TikTok, there's no ending to anything.
But you know what I do? Is it TikTok where at some point
Screen time?
a poll will pop up and it'll say, is this video...
Have you spent too much time? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it says, was this video helpful, offensive or something like
that's
that?
when you get off.
So when that pops up, I'm always like, I'm not answering this.
And I'm off.
And I'm off. I'm going to close it right here. So
Yeah.
that is sort of like
It's
that.
interesting. I think that could be helpful, especially with how many teenagers and young kids are getting addicted to social media.
So what about you, Instagram or TikTok?
I use them for such different things.
Yeah.
I feel like right now I use TikTok more almost as Google in a sense. That sounds really bad. I'm not getting any legit information. But if it's try a recipe or things like that, hairstyle, makeup, things like that, TikTok is where I'm going.
It's so handy.
It's so handy.
I learned how to fix my hairdryer from it.
Yeah.
It wasn't working, and then I was like,
From
why?
TikTok?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just search and be like, why won't my Dyson work? Like clogged or like won't stop beeping, whatever. And then there's this video that I had to buy this little screw instead of buying a new filter because they just like, and the filter was like
It's
$50
yeah,
or something.
it's
And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I just bought this little screw for $10. And I screwed it out and like took tweezers and there was like all this hair that was clogging it up. But I learned that from TikTok.
Yeah.
I feel
Otherwise
like
it would have been broken.
TikTok is almost the YouTube in that sense of you saying you look stuff up on there. There's a lot of video, I guess, for things that we would look up. My dad always goes to, you know, if he's trying to figure something out, it's YouTube. So I feel like TikTok has kind of turned into YouTube for some things.
I agree.
For our generation of people.
Yeah. When you don't want a 15-minute video
Right.
of how to do
15
it.
seconds.
Here's a 90-second video of how to do
for
it.
our really short attention spans.
How to put on a splint after fracturing your leg.
Yeah.
Instead of 15 minutes, get it in 90
Yeah,
seconds.
you get it in 90 seconds. So much quicker. Okay, the next one I have is, like, if it's raining, just whatever, you don't have anything to do, would you binge watch a TV series or a movie series? So, like, a series of Harry Potter or, like, you know.
I love Harry Potter.
Neither.
John Wick.
Real,
I don't know what
real
you're
quickly,
into.
Forrester on the back row. Can I get Forrester's mic on the question before this? What has YouTube done for you?
Yeah, so instead of taking lawnmowers and pressure washers and stuff like that to have them repaired, I just started, looking up YouTube videos and learned how to do a lot of it myself.
So you've become a small engine repair person.
Yeah.
Because of YouTube. That's my wife. My wife does what you do. So basically, in your relationship, I'm Debbie. And in my relationship, Maggie is Scott.
That's unfair. Debbie's probably way more handy than you do.
That is
Don't
true.
insult Debbie.
Okay, go back to your question again. Give it to me again.
Okay, no, you're good. So, would you rather binge watch a TV series or a movie series if you have nothing to do?
I don't like movie series because there's something about watching things at 56 minutes as opposed to watching 2 hours, though I will watch 56-minute episodes for 4 hours. I'll watch 4 of them. So I guess I would rather binge watch a TV series because I just did it this past weekend with the big door prize. I remember the name right this time.
Morpho.
The Morpho machine.
Oh, yeah. I would probably do TV if I had to guess. Because I've watched some good. I remember there was a hurricane break that Georgia Southern would get every year, and we'd always watch a different Netflix show, and it was fun.
I don't watch. So this is something that you'll learn about me is that I don't watch TV or movies really.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I have gotten into that the 7M cult thing.
Yeah, 3 episodes.
Yeah, it was 3 episodes. I watched it with my roommates, and so. Well, I've watched one. I actually watched 2 because me and my roommate watched another one last night. I'm on a documentary kick of 2 documentaries.
I like documentaries.
So I guess TV, but they're all only 3 episodes, and the episodes are less than an hour.
Yeah, I get that. I also feel like with TV shows, they almost have to keep you interested. Whereas like a movie can drag out.
Yeah.
With a TV, even if it's like 56 minutes, something like really interesting happens where you like want to watch the next one.
That's true. Yeah.
You know?
The trick of the trade, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with you on that.
Oh, wait.
I think it depends on the movie series.
They finally got that door open. What's behind the door?
Yeah.
I've got to watch.
It gets
When
me every
we
time.
come back.
Yeah,
That's always
exactly. Gets me every time.
Give me another one.
So when you go to the beach, do you like to relax, like read, tan, whatever? Or are you more of like an activity person? Are you getting and playing like spike ball or
I'm a mix.
football?
Perfect mix.
Yeah.
I like both.
I like to lay with a cocktail in my hand typically.
I do like to have a tan. So I do, like I laid out by the pool yesterday. But I do get bored easy. So I do I will nervously, because I'm awkward, I will nervously stand up and walk around, talk to people.
Why?
I just do. I'm awkward. So I just, if it's a group of us there, I will lay for a second, but I can't be quiet for long. So we got to have music playing, and then I'll get up, and then I'll get another beer, and then I'll stand up, and I'll just bounce around from each person, basically bugging the crap out of everybody, one person at a time.
One person at a time.
But I'm not good. I'm not good Like,
just
what's that movie that's got a new one coming out? The Quiet Place or something?
Quiet Place.
Yeah, Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would die so fast.
Yeah, I'd be the first one killed.
Oh, me too.
Before the credit, before they even said Quiet Place 4, I'd be killed to let you know that this is Quiet Place 4 because I can't be quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
What about you? How do you do the beach?
I am a mix. I love getting a beach read book. That's like my favorite genre. I call it a beach read. Very light, maybe some mystery, a little summertime setting, Nantucket. You know how it goes.
I have one for you.
Oh, really?
Well, it's not a beachy book, but I think that you would like to read
we'll
it.
chat about it.
Is it an Adonis man on the cover of it like me? Is there some?
No, it's what's that guy? Oh my gosh, he wrote a ton of books that my dad read. He's the one that introduced me to him. I can't remember, but it's a thriller. It's like a mystery.
King?
No, it's shoot, I'll find it.
Anyway, so I like to do that. I love to be in the water, so I'm swimming out there.
You don't want to be in space.
Don't want to be in space, but I want to be in the water. Throw the baseball. I was doing this this time last week.
Yeah.
We get the wiffle ball out. We didn't play spike ball though. We had it out down there though.
Were you in Seaside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you seen all the shark attacks?
We have. There's local. The two girls are local girls. We talked about the tragedy that was yesterday.
So sad.
Yeah.
And very
scary.
scary.
Yeah, James Patterson.
John Grisham.
I love John Grisham.
I was going to say John Grisham because that's the only author I know.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy. I like Tom Clancy too. Yeah.
John Grisham, The Firm.
Yes. It's a series too.
Oh, it's also a movie.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
It was book, movie, then series.
Well, I like that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
That's
one.
actually one of the 3 books I read in my life.
Yeah, I need to read
it's a good
more.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, read that one. If you like
It's good.
thrillers.
Oh
no.
my gosh.
I'll go get napkins.
No, it's okay. Don't. You're next.
One
What's
more.
next?
What would you do with the spill?
Okay, last one. I have one sports question. College football playoffs or March Madness? What's more fun for you to watch?
I thought you took instructions well. I said no sports.
Did you say no sports?
I always say no sports.
You said you can do no sports.
Yeah. Okay. I get.
AKA, if he says you can, just do it.
Yeah. I get labeled sometimes as the guy who doesn't want to talk about non-sports stuff on the show, when really that's totally the opposite. I really do enjoy talking non-sports. There's something about March Madness I love for those 2 days.
I do love March
The first 2 days?
The first 4 days I love about March Madness. And it's better now that, Alabama and Auburn. You got to dab it because of my show notes.
I think the thing about March Madness is, it lasts a lot, or there are a lot more games, obviously. And I think the bracket
The Cinderella
keeps
stories.
me interested because it makes me want to watch every game.
Right.
You know, whether I've watched that team play one time the past season or not, I want to watch all of them. Rockstar, you're doing such a good job.
Just ignore
But it keeps you intrigued.
Yeah, it was like NC State last year. Everybody was wanting to keep watching because, it's just a good story. But I think
Thank you, sir.
so nice.
It's like a pit
So
stop.
I think March Madness is my answer. I think
I'm looking forward to the 12-team college football playoff. 'cause
I
it's
think
gonna be
that'll
more
make
teams.
it a better, yeah.
Yeah. It's a great job by you today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
By the way, I keep up with stats. Last time I spilt a drink.
What are you kidding me?
You
When
keep
was
those
it?
kinds of stats?
Yeah, last
That's
time I
kinda
spilt a
crazy.
drink. So this is now it. 2010 football season, 2011. It was January 2011. I was in not Glendale. What's the other one? It's Phoenix, Glendale, Scottsdale. We're in Scottsdale. We're staying at Camelback, the resort there, covering Oregon and Auburn. Abby Chin, Shaughnessy, a couple of media people. There was on the properties a nice steakhouse and big red glass of wine.
No.
Dunaway, you're lying right now. You literally spilt a drink on a couch in Phoenix
That
this
was a
year.
drip. That was a drip.
That is
What
a
do you-
crazy
Is
stat,
that not
though.
a spilled drink?
That was like a drip.
I consider spilling a drink
That
when
was a
liquid
spill.
leaves the glass.
That was a drip. I think you made me laugh or something, and I.
No, you were trying to.
Oh, I was trying to cheer, and I had a deep pour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I guess.
that
really
was
crazy
that was
stat.
that was a drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have the footage.
I mean,
so.
CSI could not even pulled up what kind of wine that was.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
The hotel
over here,
probably did.
yeah. Oh, by the way, good reminder. This is actually TNR coffee. You can get it right on our website. Go to nextround.store.
It smells great.
It does smell really good. Usually I'm the one spilling things, so this
I
is
can't smell it
nice
from
change
here.
of pace for me.
Tight shot of my show notes. Now you can't steal my notes because they're all blurry right now. Thank you. That's the intern, AM Anne Marie.
There you go.
All day long. Clemson grad yet? Are you a grad?
Oh, December. Almost there. Yeah.
Do we have to give you a grade at some point for this?
I don't think so, but if you ever so
I got it handled.
Yeah,
you feel like it.
We grade easy. We try to keep everyone eligible. We're
So
good
nice.
here. We're the SEC. You'll learn if you ever come to the SEC. We're good with grades.
Oh.
You're going to get an A.
Everyone passes.
Yeah, you're going to get an A in
Everyone
this
important
class.
passes.
All right. Show being brought to you today in part by our wonderful friends at HydroLive.
HydroLive.
I think I have
You
HydroLive.
have HydroLive.
Yeah, she's helping me out with some
I
reads
am.
today. HydroLive, no fluids on the desk. They'll put fluids in you with a little IV therapy. They got cryotherapy. They got compression therapy, all right there. And if you're a member, you get up to 50% off on the services there. HydrolifeTherapy.com. HydrolifeTherapy.com. Open every day, 9 until 6 o'clock, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Homewood location, Greystone location. It's the wonderful folks at HydroLife. Perfect during this year when you want to put back what your body's missing. HydrolifeTherapy.com. HydrolifeTherapy.com.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of NextRoundLive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Remember yesterday we joked about valedictorians and
We
how Forster's daughter was second behind one of her friends. Forster sent me a screenshot of his daughter's text thread with the girl because they're friends. Give me Forster's microphone, please. Forster, walk us through Were they offended we were talking about them like my daughter would be, or did they get a kick out of it?
Oh no, she loved it. Let me read it off.
Wait, that's sweet.
Yeah.
So this is from her friend, the top ranked kid in her class. Girl, were they talking about me? Yes, that's why I had to show you. That's from my daughter, Haley. That's crazy. They're coming after me. Please don't sabotage my flashcards.
Oh, we're not going to sabatage you, I promise.
I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to
speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, apparently. Or I'll speak for myself.
Our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com, they want to make sure your summer's not sabotaged. They will help you right now with the best prices. Right up I-65, 2 locations, exit 304 in Cullman, 334 in Decatur. Nick Johnston and the whole family there, family-owned operation, all new pricing. Repriced all over the lot there, and they've got that guaranteed lowest price nationwide for you. When you find a lower price somewhere else, they'll beat it. They won't just match it, they'll beat it. And you get the RV warranty forever. JohnstonRVCenter.com. JohnstonRVCenter.com. Enjoy your summer. Braves in action tonight in Baltimore at Camden Yards. Either one of you ever been to Camden?
No, I'm not.
It sort of was the new stadium that changed the way we build baseball stadiums, and it still is a rocking little stadium. I like the warehouse over the right field. Braves are there tonight, 5:35 at Camden. Our buddy Buster Only will be back with us Thursday, hopefully, to talk a little baseball with us. But yesterday, Taylor, you pointed out to us Buster was having a little Jimmy Crypto moment.
Yeah, so I was at home yesterday evening. I don't even remember what time this was. And I see a bunch of questionable tweets coming from Buster's account. And so my first thought is always, is this the real Buster? Because, someone can take the same profile picture and change one of the letters to like a capital number, whatever. So I clicked on it, realized that it was him, and Buster got hacked. Buster has been hacked.
Buster got hacked. First of all, look at the cartoon football player up at the top of Buster.
That's what the first red flag was, because I was like, what is this animation caricature that has taken over Buster's Twitter header photo?
Yep. And then it rolled through things like this. What was crazy, there was at some point some real baseball tweets coming out from Buster about Luis Roberts.
The
and
New York
Braves.
Mets are finalizing a deal that will send. Okay, wait. I don't think that's one you're looking for.
Yeah, right here. The Mets are finalizing a deal that will send Francisco Lindor to the Athletic, sources tell ESPN. The Philadelphia Phillies and the White Sox discussing Luis Roberts, so the Braves. And then, if I get an unlimited prison sentence, who will come and bring panties? What?
It's a good question. Like, you hear that because you never know.
That's what, Landmine Believer, I was just looking at that one. It literally, the entire tweet is I hate, and then in all cap Mets, not I hate the Mets, just I hate Mets.
So good.
And then a random Justin MLB, I'm not sure who that is, responded and said, all right, Buster got his account back, we're good.
So funny. I sent the one about Luis Roberts to Forrester in the group message, and I was like, well, it looks like we both lose out in this situation.
Yeah.
But this guy was going nuts on Buster's Twitter. It was literally tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet. So
what was the key phrase when we knew it was hacked, though?
Coin.
Anytime you see coin, somebody trying to sell you coins, it's a hack. It's a hack.
Yeah, he was trying to sell some sort of coin.
What's the update on your hacker?
First of all, that is not a Facebook page I control anymore, but somebody's using image and likeness and stealing some of my current content and putting it over there. And I'm working with lawyers right now to have a formal lawsuit against Meta. And who's the guy that owns Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Zuckerberg.
So it's going to be Jim Dunaway versus Mark Zuckerberg?
It's going to be Jim Dunaway versus Mark Zuckerberg and Meta if they don't finally help me out on this.
Ask for something modest like $500 million.
Yeah. We will.
You're going for their throat?
We will all roll nicely up here if I end up filing suit here.
You know who filed a lawsuit that I just found out about today because of an email? Shutterfly.
Shutterfly,
yeah,
why?
I got $5. I don't know.
Well, but you were class action. You got something?
Class action. I got $5 at Shutterfly.
What is sad is the 1983 NC State basketball team. The 1983 NC State basketball team, one of the beloved Cinderella stories in American sports history, ended up They're now suing. 10 of those players are suing the NCAA for back pay for use of their images in this NIL era. They believe that video that we keep, you see it every March Madness. You see it during Jimmy V's Cancer Research Week when they're raising money for cancer research and the V Foundation. They show that video of the shot by Wittenberg, who's not part of the lawsuit because he's still working with NC State, comes up short, put back in. NC State pulls the upset. Jimmy V is running all around the court, and the celebration, they use that video all the time. And the players believe they deserve some back pay here. And I don't know how I feel about this. I just know I hate that image of the 1983 NC State championship finish is now a little tainted to me because there's a lawsuit.
Oh, yeah, if I'm a
involving.
trumpet player for Stanford Band, do I get something? You show that video all the time.
Oh, about the band on the field? That's
You
a
show that
great
all the
point,
time.
Rockstar.
That is a great
Can
point.
those band
Yeah.
members, you always show the band on the field. What about the kick six guy? I mean, how many times do you see Chris Davis run that kick 109 yards against Alabama? You see it all the time.
Yeah, it's my standpoint on it is where does it stop? And I know there's a lawsuit and they're trying to settle right now with the NCAA, but at what point do you say enough is enough?
Yeah, how far back do you go?
How far back? I mean, is my dad going to get something from Georgia Southern?
Yeah.
I guess he could if he wanted to.
There's not enough money out there. I don't know. I'd love to know how you guys feel about 1983 NC State in this lawsuit. Do they deserve the back pay on NIL on this? How far do you go back? I mean, it is images they continue to use now, but would that mean we can no longer use historic videos anymore?
That is just opening up a can of worms.
I would imagine at some point you signed a scholarship that gave them the right to use your name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
Like I know when I signed TV contracts in my day, I gave up any right. I gave them the right to use my name, image, and likeness. It was in my contract. And for instance, the contracts were, until I got a great lawyer, 2 lawyers, the contracts were so boilerplate. Like if I wrote a best-selling book while I was employed at CBS 42 or NBC 13, not even if I did it on their time, just when I was at home or on vacation, if I wrote a best-selling book by my contract, they could get all proceeds from that book.
Oh my goodness!
All proceeds from that book.
Wow.
Kick times.
We got kick times?
Yep.
They're leaking out? We'll do that when we come back then. So is it all of them or is it just some leaking?
No, SEC.
The SEC.
From the SEC, yes.
All right.
Brown's going to be upset he didn't get it.
Brown's not here to do kick times.
Call him.
We'll talk about those kick times. We'll sort of absorb it, let it marinate over the commercial break. When we come back for the final hour, brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, we'll talk about kick times and whether or not you like knowing the whole schedule this early in the season so you can make plans. Everyone's saying it's going to be a big benefit for the fan going to the games. We'll talk about those when we come back. This is the next round. The show today being brought to you by our wonderful friends with Hemp Hill Services. One more time with our friends at Hemp Hill. Heating, cooling, and plumbing. I'll tell you, we don't talk enough about Hemp Hill's plumbing. It is hard to find a plumber you can trust, and that right there. If it's not flowing right or draining right, Hemp Hill can help you out. The name Birmingham's trusted since the 1950s, a long time. That tells you how good they are. Remember the name Hemp Hill, or when you need it for your heating, cooling, or plumbing issues, call them up, 205-229-2090, 205-229-2090. It's our friends with Hemp Hill Services.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We'll get to 4 downs in a second. Kick time's already landmine believer. They literally tell us nothing with these release times. I'll get into that. Let me tell you Champy's first, though. Wonderful place for lunch. They bring you the third hour every day. Champy'sChicken.com. Champy'sChicken.com. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling right there with that fine-looking bald man. He's the guy that owns Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 for over a decade. Over a decade in that location. If you're going to or from the beach, it's just off the Alabaster Highway 31 exit. Just off the exit and then right onto Highway 119. Brined overnight cooked-to-order chicken comes out piping hot. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales and so much more. Champy'sChicken.com. Sterling and the crew down there. Go see them for lunch today, dinner tonight, or this weekend. Perfect for your tailgates. And we got some times. Just to explain to you, a lot of these don't have actual times on them. We know everything's on ABC, ESPN networks, or SEC network, which is part of, all of it's part of ESPN. But you'll have, some of these are specific times, but you'll have noon or early window, afternoon window, and then night window. And then there's a term you're going to hear called flex. Mm-hmm. And that's what Landmine Believer is talking about. They literally tell us nothing with these release times. Flex means the networks haven't decided yet. We may put you at 11, we may put you at 2:30, we may put you at night. We're going to decide that later on. So there's still some flex availability there, but for a lot of the games all season long, we have this. We're going to let EG go first with Alabama's schedule, so she'll tell you whether it's noon. Now, noon, remember, is that morning window, and then there's afternoon. That can be 2:30.
So, 2:30 to 3:30.
2:30, 3:30 it can be, and then the evenings is anywhere from 6 to 6:30, 7 o'clock. So go ahead.
So that flex window is 2:30 to 7 p.m. per Alabama Communications.
Okay.
So
if it says flex, that means there's no way it can be a morning kick.
It is 2:30 to 7 p.m.
Okay, so Alabama says their flexes, none of those are 11 a.m. kicks.
Right.
All right, so run through Alabama's whole schedule, even the ones we already know.
Okay, Western Kentucky, Network ESPN, 6 p.m. Central.
Okay.
USF, ESPN, 6 p.m. Central. At Wisconsin on Fox at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Georgia, ABC, 6:30 p.m.
Okay, we've known all of these already, those first four. Now what's next?
At Vanderbilt, TBA on network, and it's an afternoon game. So the afternoon slot is 2:30 to 3:30.
Okay, so Vandy on the road is going to be an afternoon game.
Mhm.
Feels like the SEC network to me, but go ahead.
South Carolina, ABC or ESPN, and that's an 11 a.m.
Okay, so that is 11 a.m. for that one. Okay.
At Tennessee, network TBA, and that is a flex game, so that 2:30 to 7 p.m. window.
Okay.
Missouri, TBA, flex, 2:30 to 7 p.m. At LSU, TBA on network again, another flex, 2:30 to 7 p.m. Mercer will be ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus at 1 p.m. At Oklahoma, TBA, flex, Auburn, TBA, flex.
Okay, now keep in mind that Mercer, ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus, that means it will be streaming only, so you'll have to have your streaming ready to go for that on November 16th. Auburn games, TBA Flex, that's good news for me because you say there's no chance that's a morning
No,
kick.
there's no way the Iron Bowl this year will be morning.
Okay, so it'll be afternoon or evening, that's still. So Alabama has a lot of flex in their schedule there. Let's do Auburn, Taylor. What do you have on the Auburn side?
Alabama A&M at Auburn, ESPN and SEC Network Plus, 7:30 p.m. Cal at Auburn, ESPN2 at 3:30 p.m.
Okay, those are Eastern times you're doing, so 2:30
Yes,
Central.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you want me to do the calculation?
No, it's fine.
Okay. New Mexico at Auburn, ESPN2 or ESPNU at 7:30. Arkansas at Auburn, the network is unannounced, and that is a flex window. Oklahoma at Auburn is an afternoon game, which will be between 2:30 and 3:30, and the network is unannounced. Auburn at Georgia is also flex, no network announced. Auburn at Missouri is the early slot.
So that's 11 a.m.
Yep, and then no network announced yet. Auburn at Kentucky is a night game, night slot, night window, no network announced. Vanderbilt at Auburn early, 11 a.m. No
another
network.
morning, yeah.
ULM at Auburn, SEC Network, 11:45.
Another morning.
Texas A&M and Auburn flex, no network announced, and then the Iron Bowl
flex,
which I feel like is always 2:30.
It is. There's been
in recent history, right?
Yeah, in Forster's time, there's been a nighttime Iron Bowl. It was 55-44 or whatever that score was. Was that an ESPN night game, or was that a CB? It seems like that was the one. There was one they had to give an Iron Bowl away, didn't they, because of the game of the century? Didn't they do a game of the century and somehow gave ESPN an Iron Bowl? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think the game you're talking about was still a CBS game.
Yeah.
I remember the Go Crazy Cadillac. That was a night game.
That was a night game. Go Crazy Cadillac, but that was pre-Saban. Yeah. Those years don't exist right now. Can you pull back the Alabama schedule up? Is there any mornings for Alabama, other than the 11 a.m. at Wisconsin on the big noon kickoff? Yes, South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina.
Yeah,
right?
so Alabama has two. South Carolina's a home game with
it's
Alabama.
home game.
Yeah, that's a rare home Bryant-Denny 11 a.m. game. You don't get a lot of those.
There was an 11 a.m. kick last season. What was that?
There was. I can't remember.
I can't remember. I was there bright and early.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
Yeah. So those are the kick times. Every game has a window. I didn't run through to see who has all the early windows, but not usually an ideal window in the Southeastern Conference for those early windows. Landmine Believer says 03, 07, and 14 were ESPN. So 14 was an ESPN one. Still could have been a 2:30 kick.
Arkansas was the 11 a.m. last season.
Oh, it was.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That was when KJ Jefferson threw. Was it Terrion he threw down in that game, I think?
Yeah, I think so. Oof.
We've retweeted from our social media platforms. Not we. Taylor has. The Command Center is in here with us today. And that is, she's got that at Next Round Live on all of our platforms. Let's do 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Slice. 5 great locations. Montevallo has not even the newest one now. The newest one is right there in Homewood. There's one in Crestline. There's one in Montevallo. There's Vestavia, and there's the OG down in Lakeshore. It's our friends at Slice. Our friends at Slice, they are fantastic. and we love them with their great pizza and all their wonderful, wonderful items they have there, and a great beer selection as well. I had an out-of-town guest I took there on Friday, and they just loved sampling the great beers they had on tap. It's our friends at Slice. Go enjoy them lunch or dinner. Let's go first down.
First down.
All right.
Can you read through your coffee?
I can't anymore. Oh, Utah. Pull up the Utah team names for the hockey team.
Oh, yeah.
It's on page 3 of the show notes here. If you were the owner of the new Utah hockey team, the one that's moved from Phoenix, the Coyotes, to Salt Lake City, of the teams that are left, the names that are left, what would you go with? Here are the choices. Utah HC, Utah Hockey Club, Utah Blizzard, Utah Venom, Utah Mammoth, Utah Outlaws, or Utah Yeti. Little T, you first.
I would personally go with Utah HC. I feel like that's just the most... I don't even know what word I'm looking for. It can be cheesy.
For your generation, I feel like it's a very soccer thing to do.
That's what I was thinking, soccer.
And I think that really resonates with like the 20-somethings.
Yeah, well, and I played soccer, so that might
Yeah.
be why. But I don't know. I don't really love any of these other names. And when I read Yeti, I don't think of the animal.
See,
I think
like
of a
that one.
cooler.
I like the Utah Yeti.
You like the Utah Yeti?
Yeah, and then they could get a great brand deal with Yeti.
Yeah, I just have brand, I guess,
Yeah.
great brand recognition.
It's
but-
Yeti night at the Yeti game. It gets confusing at times.
So I would say HC.
For some reason, I like Outlaws seem to be outdone. Blizzard seems too obvious because it's hockey. Venom, I don't think of Salt Lake City and Venom.
No.
Or Utah and Venom. Mammoth. I'm going to go with Taylor here. I'm going to go just Hockey Club. I think all those names
HC.
suck.
Oh, that
I like
merch
the
is gonna be,
Yeti.
that merch is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Let's do second down.
Second down.
If you were with me earlier, I spilled coffee on my notes here. Oh, Adrian Martinez is the UFL MVP.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Voted on by everyone in the league. Got announced yesterday. He's the Birmingham Stallions quarterback. There's the MVP release from the Stallions there. Congratulations to Adrian Martinez. But that brings up an awkward question.
Okay.
Will the league MVP even start in the league championship game this week? Because if you watched the Stallions this past week, Adrian Martinez struggled. Matt Corral came in, 28 unanswered points. Stallions win the game to get to the championship. If you're the coach, do you go with the MVP?
No,
or do you
I'm
go
going
Matt Corral?
I'm going Matt Corral.
Why?
Based off of last game, and I liked the presser that we watched yesterday, it seems like in that moment, you want what's working, and it's Matt Corral, regardless of MVP.
Coach Korn?
I agree. I don't think that him receiving that honor, that recognition award, should change
the game plan.
Correct. So if you weren't planning on playing him before, if you were planning on playing before, which
Well, he
this
started
isn't saying
the
what I
last
would
game
do.
and then he switched. So do you go back to your starter who had won the job? This is who was it? Bo Nix, and who was the other guy?
No.
Oh, it was the guy that was LSU guy, and he came, and then he
TJ
went.
Finley. No.
TJ Finley.
Was it that?
Was it TJ Finley? I think it was.
I've blocked
So
those days out
I
of my
forget
head.
what bad team they were playing. Was it Georgia Southern?
No, we haven't played that. That was so mean.
It was a non-FBS team is what I meant.
Non-FBS does not mean not good.
Yeah. So, but anyway, they had to bring TJ Finley in to beat to help Bo Nix out to win the game. And then
Right.
next week, Bo was on our show and we were debating.
Georgia State.
It was Georgia State. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like Georgia State either, so we can say that they're bad.
So it was like, should they? Bo
Yeah.
or TJ? They went back to Bo because he had won the job. That's the way I'm going to go. Adrian Martinez was your starting quarterback for a reason. Late in the year, I say you go back to Martinez. And if
Oh.
it's struggling again,
Bring Matt Corral in.
then you bring Matt Corral in.
Third down.
Joe Montana?
Oh, favorite pro athlete of all time.
Favorite pro athlete? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we were going to do better career.
Charles
Yeah, no, that's coming up.
Oh,
fourth
sorry,
down.
I
Yeah,
apologize.
yeah.
Oh.
Favorite pro athlete, Charles Barkley.
I think.
Who, by the way, last night
Oh,
on ESPN dropped the F-bomb. He was part of the hockey coverage last night. And
He was so good.
Because I think he had a cocktail when they went into the
Lounge.
suite to interview him. And he was just complimenting the guy. He was so freaking good, but it wasn't freaking the first time.
No.
Chris Barkley being Barkley.
I think his post-career, his post basketball career has also made me love him so much. Every single time that I see a clip of him talking, whether it's after an NBA game or, literally any time that I see him talk, he makes me laugh. I don't know. I just love Barkley as a person.
Barkley's my answer too, so go ahead.
Okay, I'll mix it up. I'll do kind of an obscure one. I love Gabby Douglas, the gymnast.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I love her. I read her book when I was little, and I never did gymnastics, but that's my favorite Olympic event. And her, like Simone Biles, Shawn Johnson, Nastia Lukin. Yeah.
I think Gabby is part of the either Peacock or NBC coverage
Of the
in
Olympics?
Paris coming up.
I applied for credentials for that for us, but I haven't heard back. I think I'm like 3 years too late.
Okay. Well, let me know if you heard back on that.
The opening ceremony is like in
2 weeks.
Yeah, 5 weeks, I think.
That's okay.
If we haven't heard back yet, we probably need to be making plans to be there. A little kid, Auburn student at Hughes, my buddy Hughes, is a student at Auburn. I think he's going into before his junior year, part of our supper club, church club. He's in London, and he's about to skip over to Paris, and he's going to be interning for the first week of the Olympics.
Wow.
He's doing
That's
an
awesome.
internship there in London. It's part of the Auburn, whatever outside learning they do.
Oh, the study abroad.
Yeah, and he's going to bounce over and
I'd love to
be
go.
helping
That's
with the
awesome.
international broadcast.
I'd love to go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So pressure on him one day maybe to be an intern up
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Fourth down.
Joe Montana's birthday today. He is 68 years old. Better career.
Cooper Cup.
Joe Montana, who was at one point known as the GOAT before Tom Brady. Joe Montana or the state of Montana.
Oh.
Joe
Better,
Montana.
better career. I got some Montana facts
Give
for
me
you
some
here.
Montana facts.
It's known as the Treasure State.
Don't care. Or not about your facts, but like I care more about Joe Montana than I do about treasures.
That was a very brown move. It must be the chair over there.
No, I'm
The Treasure State. Do you know why it was named the Treasure State? Because for a while in our country, most of our country's gold,
Came from
silver,
there.
and copper were mined in Montana.
Wow.
You want more?
Yeah.
yeah.
please.
I want to hear more.
You do not.
No, I do. Okay.
Grizzlies are there. Gray wolves, bisons. Another big move there for the state of Montana. Evel Knievel is from there.
Duh.
I love Evel Knievel.
Jeff Ament from Pearl Jam.
And it's this is really interesting. It's the only state that its river system flows both into the Hudson Bay, the Pacific Ocean, and the Gulf of Mexico.
That is crazy.
So Montana water goes in 3 different directions and ends up in the Gulf, the Pacific, and in Hudson Bay. How about that? Montana
I'm going
or
with the
Joe
state.
Montana?
Go
Joe
with the
Montana.
Joe Montana?
state. Montana does not have 3 Super Bowl MVPs. The state doesn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll go Montana.
Forrester says Hannah Montana.
Hannah
Yeah.
Montana.
I think Hannah Montana.
Montana Fouts.
Yeah.
Montana Fouls.
Joe Montana.
You guys can do 4 downs tomorrow.
Don't
That-
worry.
I'm kidding.
That
I'm
was
kidding.
very enjoyable. I
That
love
was-
each of those.
That is Slice brings you our 4 downs today. Those are all better. I was just pressed for time. I couldn't think of anybody to go with Joe Montana. I didn't want to say Joe Montana
Robertson.
or Stacey
Same.
Robertson. Yeah,
Yeah.
That would have been a hard pull. Slice Pizza, great locations everywhere. We love their pizza. I love the Hot Mama. The spicy Hawaiian's really good. Go by there and roll in to our friends at Slice and enjoy them. We've got trash on the other side as we continue on today. Don't forget, earlier we had basketball star Chris Youngblood was the co-AAC Player of the Year last year in the American, now part of the Alabama roster. You can go back and see that wherever you get our podcast. You can see it on our YouTube channel. You can listen to it, Apple Podcasts, Spotify as well. And then Little T has pulled out some clips that you will get throughout the day on all of our platforms at Next Round Live. Remember to like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up. Back in a moment right here on TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239 Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Our friends at Long Use Furniture believe in getting more style for less. Long Use offers a great selection of furniture for your living room, bedroom, dining room, home office, and entertainment room, helping you elevate your home design and decor. Long Use offers everything from vibrant outdoor furniture to breezy home accents. Everything you need to create your own sunshine sanctuary. Right now, you can save up to 10% store-wide, receive $300 in Long Use sleep credits with select mattress purchases, and access special financing on tons of hot buys. Take exit 280 off the I-65 Hallmark Farms exit today to see what Long Use has to offer you.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Back with you on the Next Round, show number 722. If you guys are keeping records, you guys have been the main part of show number 721 and 722 in show history. And LT and Brown on vacation all week, so show 723, 24, and 25, or depending on you guys being really good again the rest of the week.
Just you two, not him.
But I think the chat room would agree. You guys have done a tremendous job.
Thank you.
Thanks, chat.
So far already this week. A lot of compliments rolling in. We'll get to trash in just a second. A show being brought to you by our friends at Inverness, Inverness Country Club. Tell us about that.
About Inverness. Find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. They have memberships that fit everyone, is social, including a resort-style pool complex and full-service cabana and bar. Live music on Friday nights, Sunday brunch, sports, tennis, and pickleball, golf, beautiful course, and currently expanding the driving range. And if you travel for work or pleasure, ask about the Heritage Plus option where you have access to courses at 37 other clubs around the country. Inverness Country Club is a great place to meet others in the community. Maybe you've relocated or retired. Inverness is a great place to network. Childcare is also a big plus. You and your wife want a day of golf or tennis, guess what? You can drop the kid off and go have a day to yourself on the court or course. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at Inverness. They even have a vineyard club. The best days happen at Inverness.
Yeah, all right. Best days happen in Inverness there. We'll get to trash coming up in just a second. Last night, Florida beat Edmonton 4-1. They now lead the Stanley Cup Championship Series 2-0. They've never won the Stanley Cup. They were chanting last night, we want the cup. We want the cup.
That.
Now they go all the way to Edmonton, like 2,800-mile flight, and they play tomorrow night in Game 3 of the series. People are wondering if the good luck charm for Edmonton, Kate, will be there. Kate is now internet famous because the last home game when Edmonton scored, she had 8 Trulies, she said, and she flashed the crowd during the celebration and is now all over the internet.
Wow.
And she was interviewed on Barstool yesterday.
I've seen this.
On Spittin' Chicklets, their popular hockey. And she She said, I tried to get it taken down, and then, boobs are forever on the internet. And so they're out there, and she was like, 8 Trulies are going to do that to you. And she's planning on being at the game, and she's complimented, she says, on a lot of the comments she got about her celebration, and it's complimentary that people think she may be their good luck charm. So they're down 2-0, so they need anything to help them get back in this series.
So
Florida looks great right now.
The NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup are both tied at 2-0 in the series.
Well, they're
up to.
Both
not
are up
tied.
They're not tied.
Yeah.
They're both are blowouts right now.
Right, up to. Both series.
We seem to know who's going to end winning the series.
I know what you're trying to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're both
Not
2-0.
tied. Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, they're
That's
both
kinda
going down the
interesting.
same road.
Yeah.
Quick endings, very
Maybe.
quickly here.
Or maybe it'll be an exciting series for both.
Maybe
and
so.
there'll be a twist tonight, and it'll both be 2-1 after we talk tomorrow.
A little twist there. All right, when we come back, right now it is time for Trash. It is brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right after Rockstar hits the big button.
Okay, so where's your house?
It's next to my neighbor's house.
Hey, where's your neighbor's house?
Ooh, you wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Next to my house.
Step out the car, please.
I'm going to jail?
Yep.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
That's right. That's our friends at Mortgage Right. MortgageRight.com/TNR. NMLS 2239. You can give them a call to talk about your mortgage. 205-900-7200. 205-900-7200. If you're a first-time buyer or a veteran, they're there for you. If you've got a big down payment or if you need 100% financing, they can help you there as well. Veteran founded. Veteran is part of the ownership group that started Mortgage Right, and the principles of Mortgage Right just right there embedded into the fabric of that with his veteran and love for country. Low rate, great service. It's our friends at Mortgage Right, mortgageright.com/TNR.
All right, let's get to some trash. First story. You guys know my love of Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got a review too. We got somebody in here
Oh,
that had
good.
it yesterday. So
I think he just left, though, to go to Chick-fil-A.
I made him stay.
Oh, good. Okay. So Chick-fil-A is adding a new chicken sandwich to the summer menu. It looks like the Chick-fil-A got the memo that fans are loving sweet and savory combinations because the restaurant is reportedly releasing another menu item that features a flavor combo. So last year, if you guys remember the honey pepper pimento cheese sandwich, did anyone have it?
I didn't. I heard it was a massive mess.
Yes.
I did not have it either.
Messy, but yummy.
I got a hot take on this coming up, but go ahead.
So the chain is said to be adding the maple pepper bacon sandwich to menus nationwide. Food influencer Marky Devo shared the details of the sandwich in an Instagram post uploaded earlier this week. But our influencer, Tyler Johns, Lionel, will tell us about it.
Lionel?
Yeah. Is Tyler back there?
Yeah.
Yes. I was just waiting for it. Good. I could have done without the sweet and spicy pickles, but the bun was good. It's got a brioche buttered bun. You got bacon, maple pepper grilled chicken breast, lettuce and cheese.
Yep.
I might get this today.
Really, you may?
Maybe.
Good.
I would have preferred it with regular pickles instead of the sweet and spicy pickles, but that peach milkshake that I had with it was amazing.
Incredible.
Best milkshake flavor they have. I think.
As pictured right there. So you basically got the picture order.
I did.
Here's my hot take. Tight shot, please. I like when Chick-fil-A was just Chick-fil-A. It's okay that they left the mall because malls are bad now, but I like when you go there, it was a very simple menu. Just give me the chicken sandwich, the fries, and a nice Coca-Cola. I don't need all this other stuff. That's my hot take.
Don't know, that is the number one combo.
The number one combo. That's all you need at
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A. That's what used to make Chick-fil-A so great. They did so. It's still great. It's still one of maybe the best product out there. But it's getting
We're backpedaling a little bit.
so many things on its menu now. It's becoming like other restaurants.
You got to give people variety.
Yeah. I mean, I think the simple is the best when it comes to Chicky, as I call it.
Like I don't know what they put in their batter or what it is, but that chicken sandwich is really
It's good. I think I would like that if it was a fried chicken instead
I think
of the
you
grilled.
probably can you get it fried?
Juice.
What
and, you can get it fried, and all the fried fillets are brined in pickle juice and fried in peanut oil.
I like
Jeez,
Chick-fil-A.
Tyler, did you report on it?
Yeah.
I used to work there.
Oh, okay. Wait, give us the recipe. But I like Chick-fil-A because I don't want to say only because there might be another one that I'm not thinking of, but it's one of the only fast food places that does not make me feel horrible after I eat it.
I agree.
So I thank them for that.
Of all their milkshakes, Hamburger Heaven, one of our great sponsors, has the
that's
best milkshakes. But of all the Chick-fil-A milkshakes, because they're seasonal, which one do you like the most, Rocky?
I cannot tell you. Like I don't like a peach milkshake. I've never had one. I'm sure it's good, but I would just do a regular like vanilla milkshake.
Yeah.
But like I'm not a milkshake guy when I go to a restaurant.
The one around Christmas,
The
my
peppermint.
kids love the peppermint one.
I like that
one's
one
good.
too.
I love the peach, so that's so summery.
Yeah, I like the cookie.
The
cookie
Oreo?
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
That one's a good one. But my kids, I mean, as soon as it's on the menu, Dad, will you go buy Chick-fil-A? Now that they can drive, they do it themselves.
Yeah.
I like the peppermint, I think it's peppermint.
Peppermint Oreo one. All right, Knox County deputies use face recognition software to ID suspect who said he was Garth Brooks.
Now I'm going to have a side by side. Now you're going to have trouble deciphering which one's which because I think Garth has a hat. Well, I don't want to give it away, but somebody's wearing a hat. But this guy,
Oh no!
the one on the right is not Garth Brooks.
Yeah,
Thank you for the clarification.
Not even close.
On Wednesday, May 1st, responders were dispatched at Hobby Lobby after receiving a 911 call about an intoxicated male. According to the report, Truman Wayne Chapman, 47, was outside of the store screaming for help. Before deputies arrived, Chapman left the scene, and shortly after, employees at a nearby Lowe's said the man was inside the store's restroom yelling. According to the report, as Chapman exited, he was unsteady on his feet and smelled like alcohol and urine. When deputies asked for his name...
Wait. Alcohol and
I would
urine?
describe Dunaway. Wow, a little alcohol, a little bit of urine.
When deputies asked for his name, he replied, Garth Brooks.
Oh.
Way to keep that in your back pocket.
I guess technically he could be named Garth Brooks, but not the Garth
Well,
Brooks.
what's
Was he trying to
funny-
be the Garth? Was he like, I've got friends in low places?
I don't know, but
That's why I smell like alcohol and urine?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
What's funny is that they had to use facial recognition software. You can tell that's not Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Why do we have to break out the technology?
I know. I did not need a review. I didn't need to throw the red flag on this one.
Right.
That's not Garth Brooks.
That is not Garth Brooks.
Yeah. No challenge. No need to challenge. That is not Garth Brooks.
The deputies had to redirect Chapman's face numerous times to avoid being spit on.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Did you just sit still?
He's a spitter.
Garth?
Garth.
Yeah.
He did have an outstanding arrest warrant and was arrested, so they got him off the streets.
Yeah.
Fake Garth Brooks.
Do y'all like Garth Brooks at all?
Yeah,
It was
I
a
like
great
Trish-
concert in Birmingham.
Yeah, I like Trisha Yearwood, his wife.
You do?
Yeah, or ex-wife.
No.
They're still together.
Yeah. Not because of Trisha, but Trisha is after the original wife.
Yeah, but
wife
I like.
one.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
still.
No, they're still
Are
together.
you Trisha or the original wife? Chick-fil-A had an original recipe.
By the way, you want something? We were talking to you yesterday about the dad things that I say now that really are starting to bother me. I'm starting to hear them out loud.
Share some time.
I introduced Maggie once as my first wife, and
Ooh, that's not even a dad thing. I don't know what that is.
that's not a dad.
yeah, pissed her off. Yes, and two, it was very corny.
Gosh.
Were you trying to make a joke?
I was trying
or
to
did
be
it just
funny.
look-
I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, this is my
oh.
first wife, Maggie."
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Moving on from there.
didn't go well. Didn't go well.
No. Animal-inspired baby names for your new baby.
Oh, God.
Aw, Alec could have maybe taken some inspo from this.
Patrick's right. Looks more like Barth Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably was barfing.
So here are some animal baby name suggestions from a parenting website. Bear.
One of the
I didn't know it was
singers
an
of
animal.
Need to Breathe, right? Need to Breathe. One of them is named Bear, right?
I have a cousin named Barrett, and we call him Bear, kind of.
Like if you want to.
Like if I want to. Buck.
Buck.
Buck Baloo.
I feel like I know someone's name that. Someone that's named that.
Singer Buck Johnson. There's Uncle Buck.
Oh, this one is so bad.
Bucky McMillan.
No,
He
yeah.
coached at
Maybe that's
Stanford,
what I'm
yeah.
Buck
Yeah.
Baloo.
Buck Baloo, yeah, Georgia.
Hawk.
Okay.
Oh no.
No.
We're getting.
Birdie. That reminds me of Goldie.
Birdie.
Birdie.
That
That's
sounds
a
like,
dog name to me.
Yeah, it sounds like your aunt that always
Aunt Birdie.
pinches your cheeks when she comes over. Aunt Birdie's
This
coming
one
over.
is
Oh
horrible.
no.
Fox.
Oh, Clay. Travis's son's name is Fox. It's a good thing we didn't do this before Clay.
Really?
Is it really?
Isn't it Fox Travis?
I have
Is it
no
really?
clue.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like that's more normal than
wow.
some of the others.
Yeah.
Trust me, I don't think you can insult Clay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Clay. Fawn.
Dawn.
Fawn.
Fawn sounds like a stripper name. Go ahead.
Think his name is Knox. The son.
No, that's Knox Kiffin.
Oh.
Okay, I'll try and find
Sure.
out.
Please find this out.
I'll do some research.
Finch. I know Kennedy Finch.
I knew somebody. It was Finch was a middle name I knew.
Jenny Finch.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, that was the last name though. But yeah.
Colt. I know Colt.
Yeah,
that's
Our
pretty
buddy
normal.
Josh's son is cold.
Yeah, that's
pretty normal.
Yeah.
Wolf. I've known a wolf.
You know the wolf?
Yeah.
Other than Wolf Blitzer?
No, it was like a short for Wolfgang.
Wait, my dad had a foreign exchange student named Wolfgang.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not kidding.
From Selma.
I thought it was fake. Apparently, it's not.
Lynx.
Lynx? It's an WNBA team name.
Yeah, those aren't my favorite names I've ever heard of.
Yeah, me either.
But
There's a couple I like.
Yeah, I like Colt. I think that's a pretty normal one.
Colt's a good name.
Fox is really
Buck
normal.
can be good.
Duh.
Bear's not bad.
Bear's not bad. Fox is great.
What's next?
What's next? A Montana couple spent $20,000 building a 2-bedroom house made of clay, sand, and straw.
Oh wow,
That's
pretty
kind of a
impressive.
steal now that I think about it. $20,000 for that.
Okay, say it again. What's it made of?
Clay, sand, and straw.
It sounds exactly what the little piggies will come up and blow down the second house.
Boom.
Yeah, what happens if it rains?
We get to rebuild it.
Isn't this how like the original settlers used to do things though?
Maybe.
Back in the day?
Sure.
Maybe.
So they're just going back to old.
How many of those houses are still standing?
True that. Building an Earthian home from scratch might sound daunting to some, but for Daniel and Catherine Ray, it's their way of life. The Montana couple who started dating in high school. Hey, this is a win for the state of Montana.
Yeah.
Is this Montana too?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
First came across cob houses when they were in college. Cob is a natural building material made out of clay, sand, and straw. It was a massive undertaking. The couple spent almost 3 years trying to complete the project by hand. We both had full-time jobs and then would also work about 40 hours a week on building the house.
All right. So we're squishing it together like grapes, like
So
we're making wine.
interesting. Not only did they design the blueprints for the house, but they were also responsible for sourcing the natural materials required to build the structure. So I guess there has to be, oh, wow, that's cool.
That is cool. It really is.
Until it falls apart.
But does it come with a smell?
How is it?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about
I think
that.
you get used to it.
How is there electricity?
Well, I get used to
I think
it.
they're probably doing solar.
Are those speakers down they built into the straw?
Into the rock?
Yeah.
That?
Is
I
this-
don't
No,
know.
but at the end, they
That's
look
the
like
stove.
speakers.
I'm sure that's a stove.
Yeah, I feel like that's a, yeah.
Oh, that's cooling, heating, and cooling, maybe?
And you got your kettle on the, what the hell that, on the cool bench?
Or bed. We don't know what it is.
Yeah, so all of their stuff in there, they don't have this type of house with normal furniture. It's literally.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? So they build, that's where you sit.
Oh,
wait.
wow.
There's some.
I mean,
They got dishwashers. They got water.
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive.
So compared to other homes in our area, most houses are being built for between around $150,000 to $200,000, with a median listing home price of $866,000. Since the couple paid for their cob house out of pocket, they don't have housing debt.
Yeah. They don't?
Good for them.
Oh, yeah. Good for them.
Wow.
Wait.
I mean,
I think that he does have a kid named Fox.
He does.
That's
I'm telling you, I know.
wow.
Okay, yeah, I
know,
found
you
someone.
don't worry about it.
I'm gonna.
Wait, no, I don't think he's watching right now.
No,
Okay.
busy
Well, no
man.
one tell him.
Sorry,
Anyways, that's the end of trash.
Yeah. That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. MortgageRight.com/TNR. Let them help you, whether you're a first-time buyer or a veteran. If you're not building your own house out of straw, mud, and other junk, if you're buying a normal American house, you can do that with our friends at Mortgage Right. MortgageRight.com/TNR. One more segment to go when we come back as we put a wrap on this show with a debate about Lane Kiffin. What will it take for Lane Kiffin to be the greatest coach in Ole Miss history? I challenge these two next on TNR.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food then one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new Chicken Bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
You do have a little bit of
ADD.
Squirrel. You do have a little bit of that. I do sometimes as well.
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of that, I think.
New Uncorked coming out here pretty soon.
With an appearance from one of my favorite people on the planet.
Find out who that is, even though it's not me. I think I am on the top 3 most viewed Uncorked. I may have had a little time recently and did a little research. I may be 1, 2, 3 in views of all time, but one of her favorite people coming up.
You want to come back?
And the You Uncorked. When the time's right, I'll be like...
do one today, Taylor. Do one like around
Have
1.
your people talk to her people.
I'll be like Caitlin Clark. When you need a ratings boost, you let me know.
Okay.
Theo Vaughn, says Patrick. Is it Theo Vaughn?
No. I tried, with the assistance of Rockstar, to reach out. He's a very busy man. But one day, I will not stop. I will not stop till we get Theo Vaughn on. But I wouldn't.
It
I
does
would want him
bother
to come
me
on
that,
here.
that Roll Tide Willie made it onto Theo Vaughn
Okay.
before we had him on.
No, that's not. Drewski brought him when
Okay.
he was a guest. So that's how that happened.
Okay. Because I really never liked Theo Vaughn, but I do like him now because of you, and he does show up in my algorithms now, all because of Taylor Corn, because I watched the Theo Vaughn thing or two, and now it's up there. I almost sent you one the other day that I thought was hilarious, but I didn't.
Brown got, the video that Brown sent me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darkest day in my broadcasting career, yes.
Darkest day. Wait, what?
That Brown outdid me something up here.
Oh, no.
I was like, I thought that was a good day.
Someone, Ush sent it to me over the weekend, and it was a list of funniest Theo Vaughn videos that a random person made, and that video was on
my
there.
goodness.
That was in there?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. There's a new Pennant Grace. It was live yesterday,
Yes.
but it's still relevant
Yep.
today. You can go watch
Still
it.
relevant today. I'm actually having dinner with Ush and his family tonight. So hospitable.
Oh, very good.
So we'll plan out our next show then.
All right, Uncorked. It's Taylor Corn as she reacts to life and everything going on in her head is what I have written down over here. The Pennant Grace, Emily Grace McWhorter, and Josh Ush Sisk share every emotion while being a Braves fan during the 2024 season. That's what you get with that.
You want to
And
be
then,
on that one too?
Then the meltdown. The meltdown comes up live today, 2 Central. It's Tim Melton, John Lunsford, Tyler Rockstar on there often. Our daily pop culture podcast. Don't forget Rolled Tide Pods, where you get things like Elephant in the Room with Jake Coker and Mick Gillespie. You get that at Disrupt the Media. Also, War Dam Pods, where Zach Blackerby, who's on the show tomorrow, Brad Law do the Village Vice right there. Everything you want for Auburn and Alabama fans at Disrupt the Media. This final hour brought to you by Champy's Chicken, champy'schicken.com. Sterling and the crew on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by there and say, hey, Dunaway was raving about the wonderful chicken down there. Brined overnight, cooked to order. Champy's Chicken, champy'schicken.com. Do you think Lane Kiffin can be the greatest coach in Ole Miss football history? A little history first. I believe modern-day college football starts in 1970.
Okay.
Ole Miss's greatest success is before 1970. By a name, his name's on the stadium.
Johnny
Vaught
Vaught.
Hemingway Stadium. Johnny Vaught is the name. Ole Miss claims 3 national championships. I'm an Alabama fan. I'm not going to judge you at claiming national championships, but most of Alabama's involves the AP poll or the coaches poll. But Ole Miss claims 3 national championships in 1959, 1960, and 1962, but none of them were the AP or the coaches poll. The 1960 team was 10-0-1, and they did receive the Grantland Rice Trophy, which is a highly recognized trophy by the Writers Association. So that's a little context of who you got to beat. His name is on the stadium, and Johnny Vaught, 3-time claimed national champion, 6 SEC championships or co-championships for Johnny Vaught. He was really good. Can Lane Kiffin become the greatest coach in Ole Miss history? Taylor, you start us off. Can he? Will he?
Can he?
Will he?
Sure. Will he? Okay, first I just need to say something about the word claimed in front of national title. I feel like I don't like that, Yeah.
Well, before you guys were born in 2000 or after 1999, 2001, we didn't have the BCS. So your whole life has been where we played for the national championship. Until 1998, it was voted on.
Right,
and there were a lot of split national championships and a lot of claiming.
I feel like a different word could be used than claim, because I feel like I could just claim I'm going to claim a national championship. So I just don't.
Go look at the one the Alabama won in the 1940s.
Georgia Southern.
We've got 17 at Alabama legit national championships.
Congratulations, Dunaway.
But there's one in the 1940s that even I
don't want to claim.
Yeah, I'd be okay if they dialed it back to 17 myself. I go, ooh, that one's ugly.
Yeah, so that's
not even SEC champions.
I think a good step would be for them to make the 12-team playoff. I think that y'all had a discussion. I can't remember when, but it was sometime in the recent past.
Talking about Lane and Ole Miss making the 12-team playoff this year.
If they don't, then we got some issues.
Funny you should say that. We've got Andy Staples before the show's done. We'll show the projection. Ole Miss is in his projected field. Can he be? Lane Kiffin be the greatest coach? What will he have to do to you? Making the playoffs to start with is a good start.
I think he has to win an SEC championship. But truthfully, Dunaway, when I was doing some research, I thought you meant Ole Miss as a whole best coach. And so I was also considering baseball in this.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I was considering Mike Bianco. But if you're talking football, yes, I do think that he will be, simply because of the standards he's created with recruiting and transfer portal.
So you think before he leaves, he could be the greatest coach
I do
in Ole
think
Miss
so.
history?
Yes.
Well,
I do think time makes a difference because the other one was so long ago, right?
And sorry if I just cut you off,
No,
but
you're fine.
I feel like now he obviously knows what he's doing in the portal, but it's so much, obviously it's harder to retain a roster, but you can also think about how much you can do in just one offseason with that.
That's right.
So I think that changes the game for really any coach, but especially one like Lane Kiffin that's proven that he can get talent out of the portal.
I also think that what he led Ole Miss to back-to-back seasons with over 10 wins for the first time.
I don't know if they were back-to-back or did they end up going back? Yeah, I guess they have.
They went back-to-back.
Yeah. He has a 690 winning percentage, Kiffin does, 34-15 right now. Vaught was a 740 winning percentage. So there's a chance if he has a good year this year, he can start chipping away.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance Lane Kiffin, before he leaves Ole Miss, can be considered by living Ole Miss fans still alive, walking the planet today, as the greatest coach in Ole Miss
I
history.
agree. And I think that he's already done that with the record and the transfer portal / recruiting elements.
Here is Andy Staples' projected 12-team playoffs. It is heavy SEC. This will make SEC fans happy. 5 SEC teams, 3 Big Ten teams, the ACC champion, the Big 12 champion, Notre Dame, and a group of 5 team. If you are watching us on any of our great video platforms on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, then you see that Alabama is a 5 seed, which means they are the second best team according to Andy in the SEC. 5 seed, Georgia's the SEC champion is a 2. Remember, the top 4 seeds are only conference champions. So Bama would be the highest rated non-conference champion. And they would host Boise State. Running out of time on the show real quickly, Boise State on December 20th or 21st in Tuscaloosa versus Alabama, first playoff game. Is it a hard sellout?
Yes.
I mean, all tickets sold, yes, but will everybody be in the seats?
Yes,
every seat filled?
Because it's historic. It's the first time it's been done.
I think same, because it's a playoff game that's being played
in
on
Tuscaloosa
campus.
Other first-round matchups, the 6-11, Oregon would host Tennessee. You saw Tennessee earlier and thought.
I was surprised that they're projected, but I mean, there's nothing against Tennessee. I just think that there might be some teams ahead of them.
So many SEC teams in Andy Staples' projection that 2 have to play in the playoffs. Texas hosting Ole Miss. It would be a good year for Ole Miss.
Good year for Ole Miss. That's my first step for Lane Kiffin.
Yep. And then there's Texas, probably be a little disappointed being the 7th seed, but still in the playoff. Michigan making it back. A lot of people don't think Michigan can get there this year. Andy does as an 8 seed, would host Notre Dame. When I was a kid, they played each other almost every year, Michigan and Notre Dame. The byes would be Ohio State at 1, Georgia 2, Florida State 3, Kansas State 4. The 12-team playoff is reality, and it's going to happen this year. Those first 4 games on the December 20th and 21st would be on campus. Of those 4 matchups, which one would you make the standalone Friday night game? Would it be Michigan, Notre Dame, Texas hosting Ole Miss?
Texas, Ole Miss.
Or Oregon. Well, I don't know. It depends what Tennessee looks like, I think. But I think Oregon either... Ooh.
Or Alabama and Boise State?
No.
Texas, Ole Miss.
Okay.
Boise State is...
Now, remember, you got to put 2 of those the next day opposite of the NFL, and then 1 in prime time the next night.
Yeah, I don't think Alabama Boise would be prime time, and I think the prime time game is Texas Ole Miss.
I think I would go Bama and Boise State on Friday night.
Oh, really?
I do. And then I think I'd make Michigan Notre Dame the primetime game. And then I'd have the other 2 up against the NFL. Probably you'd throw Alabama away against the NFL and put one of the others on Friday night.
Yeah.
Decisions that'll have to be made.
Glad we're not making them.
Yeah. Me too.
But I'm excited for the 12-team playoff.
Me too. And we're only a few days away from our trip out to Dallas for SEC Media Days. We're looking forward to that. And a lot of exciting stuff we're going to tell you about coming up this football season on the platform here. 2 days down. Thank you guys,
Woo-hoo.
man. I had fun yesterday, but I had so much more fun today.
Yeah, it was a great day.
And looking forward to the rest of the week. We appreciate all you guys being with us. Remember, a new Meltdown is coming up. The new college football SEC scheduled start times for some of them, not all of them, are out there. You can go get that on our social media platform at Next Round Live. And listen, if you follow us on Twitter, but you don't follow us on Instagram, go over to Instagram and follow us there. If you follow us on Instagram but not Twitter, do that. Do the same at TikTok. Always subscribe at YouTube at Next Round Live. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.